Get Nasty on a Wednesday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. Did you not know it was Wednesday?
I didn't.
That's the face of a man that didn't know it was Wednesday.
I didn't know it was Monday. On Monday.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I thought today was Thursday.
That's bad then. That's a rocky start.
That happened to me too yesterday. I walked home, got home, and for whatever reason, I guess I thought it was Wednesday because my roommate loves the show Survivor, and I've been slacking watching this past season. And I walk in, and he's in his room. I go, "Hey man, like, you ready for Survivor? Like, season finale's coming up. Like starting now. Like, I can't believe you're not watching it." He goes, "Dude, it's Tuesday. Survivor comes on Wednesday." I go, "Oh boy. All right, I'm gonna head back to my room."
You know what else? You know what else probably threw you off was that typically you would know that there's action coming up.
Yeah.
And you probably got a little wonky. So that makes sense.
Yep.
Hey, legit question here, genuine question. When we were on air for Freedom Friday last Friday, and the Blues were coming off a victory against Marsh. Do you remember who they faced last?
The Calgary Flames.
It was the Flames. And we opened up the show, and I was talking about, like, hey, this looks different. This is better under Jim Montgomery. And we got, I don't know, a handful of texts from Blues fans that were still, they're kind of angry with me, suggesting that this looked like a different team. Because to them, it didn't. They're still being outshot in a lot of occasions. I had mentioned how, I'm not seeing as many turnovers, and they're pointing out turnovers. I'm just genuinely curious about this. That was the end of a long-ass road trip. You go to a couple of Eastern Conferences, or 3 Eastern Conference teams. You return home for one, and then you head right back out, and you've got that Canadian road trip. And on the Canadian road trip, you beat one of the best teams in the league in the Winnipeg Jets. You beat the Flames in Calgary. You dropped the Oilers game, but at least you battled back and made it a game after falling behind early. And then you beat the Canucks last night, knowing that you get to return home. Finally, after a long trip, long 2 weeks, and you take on the Sharks. Genuine question. Are you still in the camp of, looks the same to me? Because it doesn't for me at all.
Not at all.
And I felt that way before this. That the Drew Bannister-led Blues team probably gets the brakes beat off them last night. I'm just saying. And they'd have I would probably come on the air and like, you know what? Toss that one because it's the end of a long road trip. This is a different team. I'm sorry. But if you see something differently, I'm genuinely interested in knowing why you think this is still the same old Blues.
I could see those people thinking, okay, let me see what it looks like against the Sharks now, because you ended up taking care of business. You win 3 games on this 4-game Western Canadian road trip. I think it would be like the old Blues to come home after a solid road trip and then lose to the Sharks.
Take a breather and then lose.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So maybe they're holding out a little bit till they see what that looks like.
Sure.
Which I understand. Because this is a team that lost a few games to the Sharks last year. Now they've taken care of the Sharks this year, and the Sharks are a lot better team now, but maybe that's what they're waiting on.
For me, it was that Eastern road trip. Like after, Montgomery's debut, and then you ended it with losing to the Flyers. You came home, I believe, for 1 game.
That was the Flyer game.
You're right. You lost to the Flyers. You lost to the Flyers at home.
Yeah, you lost to the Islanders. Yeah. You beat the Rangers. You beat the Devils. Now the Islanders one was the one that got Bannister. Jim Montgomery becoming available got Bannister fired, but the Islanders game was Bannister's last game.
I think this road trip, like you said, you've been on the road essentially for 2.5, 3 weeks, despite minus 1 game coming home and then getting right back on the road. To finish that Western Canadian road trip in the manner in which they did, to me, that's a sign and a signal. You know what? This team is doing better. They are playing harder. They are finding ways to win games. And you're starting to see, like, Dylan Holloway is scoring goals. He's having a lot of points in each game. Zach Bulduke is scoring goals, things that you didn't see prior to Jim Montgomery being here. So I think you're starting to see the players that you want to see flourish, they're doing outstanding. They're doing good. Jordan Kyrou has seemed to open up his game more. He's playing really well. I think all of it looks better to me. And I'm not a person, I know you all said last week that the Blues are going to win the Stanley Cup because of the coaching change, and we've seen this story before. You said it, Marshy. Anthony, you said it. Well, you know what? I'm not there yet. But give me a few more games, and I might join in with you all because I think you all might have a point and be spot on. I might wear the Blues glasses for the actual Blues again.
What? And this is huge, too, because this is coming from a guy that said he's not going to get too high or too low at the beginning of the season. All it took was winning a few games. That's really all it took.
That was him. And now I don't want to get up.
I almost don't want you to get too high on this team.
Okay.
He's in line for the roller coaster.
I'm in line, and I hate roller coasters. I told you. I just want to walk. I'll watch. But I don't want to get on.
You
risk life and limb.
You walk by, and you're like, what is that? That looks entertaining.
They got a guy standing there
upside down.
Yeah, and
that might be
came
fun.
And he's bringing everybody in like, here, join. And the other guy, you're like, I don't know, But this new guy, he's like, this is the one you want. I'm like, okay, I think I do want to ride this ride.
I think I can. I think I can.
Yeah.
And I'm almost there with you fellas. I'm telling you.
I can see it. I can see it in your eyes.
You see me lighting up?
Yeah,
I'm excited.
From the 636, Eric Davis.
Yeah.
Running who that is. He played outfield for the Cincinnati Reds.
He was also me for one day.
Carey decided to become Eric Davis for a day.
To your point, Anthony, we get a text from the 618. Blues games are way more entertaining to watch since Montgomery arrived. Let's be honest, we're still in a retool here, right? But from a fan's perspective, that goes a long way.
I'm glad you said that because it is all about expectations. We come into the year. We're excited.
Yeah.
But we're excited in the manner of, hey, this could be a playoff team this year. Nobody was misconstruing anything. Nobody thought this was going to be the Florida Panthers. Nobody thought this was going to be the Edmonton Oilers. Nobody thought this was going to be the Carolina Hurricanes. Nobody thought they were going to be Winnipeg. We knew that this was going to be a retool transition year, but kind of on the upswing of that retool. So if you're still sitting there watching games like, it's not perfect, I don't know what to tell you. Because this version of the Blues under Montgomery, which is now won 5 games after last night, nobody dropped 2. This looks like a team that we can all endear ourselves to in the second half of the season.
And it's not going to be perfect because watching that game last night, I was like, what are you doing?
Right.
But it's not about, how that plays out. It's about how you respond. And they responded very well. I thought they played a great game. Dylan Holloway was unbelievable last night.
It's one thing, Marsh, and I don't care what sport we're talking about. It's one thing to win games, rack up games, and you don't improve. Because at that point, you kind of sense like you're going to fall off the tightrope here. You're winning games that you shouldn't be in. You're
like the Chiefs.
No, that's different.
Yeah,
more like the Falcons.
Well, they haven't really been winning games at all.
You beat the Eagles, but you shouldn't have. You beat the Bucks twice. You shouldn't have.
All it took was, 9 minutes?
Yeah, it's a new record. But the Blues,
We
what's
should
wrong?
keep a timer. We should keep a Falcon timer. Like at what point of the show, and as soon as we hear it,
Either a Cousins dig or a Falcons dig.
Falcons timer.
Did you like the video I sent you?
I still haven't watched
It's a
it. I still haven't
9-minute
watched
video.
it.
I watched all 9 minutes
I
of
have my
it.
thoughts on it because some of it wasn't his fault, but
You're right, Carey. It's Raheem Morris's fault for him even being in there. It's a good call. You and I don't often agree, but when we do.
the first play wasn't his fault. They didn't block the right people. So,
And whose fault's that?
the O-line and the running
Raheem
back.
Morris.
Nah,
Thank you.
they were coached up. They just didn't do it. They had a brain cramp.
I don't think they were coached up. Just saying. All right.
As you were saying, though, yes.
What's wrong with improving while also winning games? This feels like a team that while your mistakes are still evident, you're winning games right now. And I have the sense, maybe people disagree, but I have the sense that this team is actually improving. Dylan Holloway is incredibly fun to watch. Jordan Kyrou Another goal last night. Thank you very large. Did you have Bolduc?
I did.
So we have 3.
I had Holloway.
You had Holloway. I
Yeah.
thought Jamie had Holloway.
Yeah,
No.
Jake Neighbors.
He had Jake Neighbors.
So the 3 of us won last night.
Yep.
How about that? Nice job,
I got a
guys. Nice job.
five-pointer. I mean, a 3-pointer. I'm at 5 points now.
Yeah, that was Bolduc's a 3-pointer?
Yeah.
When did you make that up?
No, he is a 3-pointer.
Is he?
Yeah, it's on
Says
the
right
sheet.
here on the
What are you
sheets.
doing? Yeah. Everybody else, rest of the team.
3 goals. How about that? Okay.
He's there. When did you make that up?
Kyrie's a 3-pointer too.
Nah, he's actually
No, he's a 1.
Nah, I crossed him off. He's part of the rest of the team now.
Nope.
Anyways, this team's improving. Holloway's fun to watch. Cairo, clearly Montgomery's getting the best out of Cairo. I don't even think that Bennington and the goaltenders have been as great as we know they can be.
Yeah.
So this is an improving team, and you're collecting wins. I'm good. I've got no complaints. We're going to nitpick. We can nitpick certain things, certain aspects of the games. Guys, the Blues were taking off full periods before. Full periods.
You're not wrong.
Second period, we'll just punt it.
Optional.
Third period, we'll hang on for dear life. We'll let you do whatever you want to do. We'll just try to keep this 1-goal lead. And this is, you got a complete effort. Do I want to see them give up a goal, the last couple of minutes there with the empty? No, but it's also hockey. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
What did you do in OT? You buried them.
Yep.
I got no complaints right now. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying Blues hockey.
I'm right there with you.
Again.
I think that they are playing a full 60 minutes. Like you said before, it was either the first period, they were coming out sluggish, coming out slow. The third period, sometimes it seemed like they were taking it off and not finishing. And now you almost expect them to at least get a point every game, which is, you want to get 2.
It's lofty, yeah.
But you feel like there's
They're
an
capable.
opportunity. They are capable, even when they're down. It's something different. And I just go back to when Jamie was talking about it, when Curves was talking about it. They had the morning skate a couple of weeks ago, and Montgomery was like, stop. It's not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
And the morning skate, I would assume, and I've been told, is similar to what we have on a Saturday, is a walkthrough. Like, we're not out there running into people. We're not out there running as fast as we can. We're going through, it's kind of a job through. You're going through your things. But when it's not correct, you correct it in that moment, because the game, you have to be on point and you have to be doing the things that you need to do in order to have success. So I think just dialing into the details is what you're seeing now from this team. And the players seem to be more receptive to the conversations that are being had. I don't doubt that Bannister was telling them the same things, but like you and I have talked about, I tell my kid something, he doesn't freaking listen. But if you, Anthony Stalter, or you, Marsh, you say, hey, you should do this.
Yeah, this.
I'm like, never heard that before.
Right.
You kidding me, kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
Just
told you
say
every
it.
day of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a different person saying the same message. So, they seem to be more receptive to it, and it's working out for them.
That's Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. It's Fast Line on 101 ESPN, where it's 2:14. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. One thing is evident in Major League Baseball, and it's been this way for almost 10 years now. There is one thing, and one thing dominating baseball, and we're going to see it again this winter meeting. Might not like it if you're a Cardinals fan. That's next on 101 ESPN. Anthony Stalter back with you for the Missouri Athletic Club. My wife, Chris, and I were talking about certain things that we could do in a couple of weeks when it comes to the holidays. And we were discussing things for like the Christmas Eve dinner, for example. Like, okay, well, we could go there, we go here, we can cook. And I threw out there, well, why don't we check out what the Missouri Athletic Club has? And they've got a Christmas Eve dinner. You can enjoy Christmas Eve dinner with friends and family, downtown location of the Missouri Athletic Club. And I'm like, man, this is perfect. We've got all sorts of events, whether it's for me and work related, or for Kristen and I, or the kids, and we can involve the entire family. Missouri Athletic Club, they got something going on each and every month. So we're going to check out that Christmas Eve dinner. That's my MEC, Missouri Athletic Club. So we want to know how you feel as a Cardinal fan about not being involved in what is turning out to be a fun winter meeting session in baseball. It's Fastline on 101 ESPN. You take it in any different, you take it different directions. Maybe you have apathy. Maybe you're like, well, I kind of get it. I get where the Cardinals are headed. They've essentially said that they're not going to be spending big and they're going to allocate a lot of their resources now to drafting and developing. So I get it. I understand. Not expecting it. Maybe you're somebody that still falls into the category of, hey, I'm ticked off. I expect the Cardinals to put their best product on the field at all times. So where are you at? Leave us a mic drop via the Schaefer Door Company 101 ESPN mobile app, and we'll play those mic drops throughout the course of the show. But how do Cardinals fans, you, a Cardinal fan, feel about not being involved in what has been a fun winter meetings?
What's new?
What's new with what?
What's new? When have you ever been a part of the fun winter meetings?
Carey, you got
What year?
You got
Give me a
Wilson
year.
Contreras a couple of years ago.
That was fun.
Last year, they slapped you right away with Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson. And then a week later, Sonny Gray. You're welcome.
I mean, maybe that's part of it, though, that they're not involved enough. Let us know.
I think that they shouldn't be involved so they don't muck it up more.
I agree 100%. I just sit on your hands and mind your business. Let all these people do what they need to do. And you, St. Louis Cardinals, develop the talent that you have. Draft well, and with this number 5 pick that you got coming up, you do that well. You find the best player, bang for your buck. You develop that player to be an all-star caliber player. And you continue to do that. And you get those players that you got on the roster right now to be the all-stars that you drafted them to be.
Amen.
Yeah.
The most exciting thing out of winter meetings for the Cardinals is a player that they're going to trade away. It's not that entertaining.
Yeah, but it can be. Yeah, we can make it fun. If you trade Nolan Arenado, you open up a spot for Nolan Gorman. You could roster bait all you want. You know?
Is that what you do? Okay. Okay.
You were doing it yesterday. You had the lineup out.
I was getting
mixing
excited,
and
man.
matching. It's funny, though. We stopped hearing from you after you got to the 4th spot.
Yeah,
You're like, you know what?
I did find one.
Did you?
Yeah.
Who's it going to be?
Von Herrera.
Oh, I actually like
cleanup.
that.
Okay.
I had Wilson at batting second. Von Herrera batting fourth. Wilson batting third. Von Herrera batting fourth.
Okay.
I was kind of flip-flopping between, do I want Burley in the 2-hole or Donovan? I put Burley there. Make contact. He'll get on base. Wynn was my leadoff, of course, because shortstops have to lead off.
According to Jamie. Yeah.
And then it was kind of got a little murky. I think Donovan's going to bat 5th or Newt Bar or, had to move Walker and Gorman down just a little bit till I feel a little bit more comfortable with what they're doing. So
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
All right.
That was good.
One thing that is evident in Major League Baseball again, after the Yankees signed Max Fried yesterday, the Mets, of course, over the weekend signed Juan Soto to a massive contract. The Dodgers have already signed Blake Snell, and they will likely sign 14 high-priced free agents throughout the winter.
You want to win or what?
The Red Sox just acquired Garrett Crochet a couple of hours ago from the White Sox.
What did they give up in return?
Prospects. I'm assuming they have to give up decent
You
prospects.
think the Cardinals could have did that last trade deadline?
They could have. Yeah, but they didn't.
Luis Robert go anywhere yet?
No.
He's on the block next though, isn't he?
Yeah. He'll be gone.
Maybe 2 players. But
One thing that's evident is that the coast teams will continue to dominate the headlines in the offseason. Specifically the Dodgers, the Yankees, now the Red Sox again, now the Mets. Those are the teams that are going to continue to acquire the talents. And it's been this way. This is nothing new. I remember when Giancarlo Stanton had either the Cardinals or the Giants in mind. Those 2 teams were pursuing him. They sat down with Stanton. They sat down with the Marlins. They worked out some trades. And he's like, you know what? I only want to go to one of the 4 teams that were remaining, the top 4 teams last year. And they happen to be all coast teams outside, I think, Houston? So you had the 1 South team there. This is nothing new. Top free agents are going to teams like the Dodgers, have always gone to the Yankees. The lure of playing for the Yankees. Seems like the Red Sox might be more active. Philadelphia isn't a coast team, but they've also, I think their roster is pretty much set.
they're all teams that have a chance to win a championship for the most part. Like that's where again, if you are a player that has not won a championship, you generally want to go and you want to get paid, but you want to go a place if you have the option of a place that has an opportunity to win a championship. Right now, the Cardinals are not in that place to win a championship. In 3 years, this is what I've been saying. If you develop your young talent, you could be in a position, seeing if you want to spend the money financially to go out and sign a huge free agent bat or a pitcher or whatever the case may be to get you over the hump. But as far as free agents are looking at it, they're probably looking at it and saying that's not a team that is prepared to win a championship in the next 3 to 4 years.
Right.
So I'm going to hold off and go where I can get paid and have an opportunity to win the championship.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with it. I think baseball, we give baseball a lot of crap, but this part, the contracts, it's being talked about. People are tuning in. You sent the video of a man talking about waking his son up at 6 a.m. to go to the cages. I've seen multiple videos after people have seen Juan Soto's contract of them doing that, putting a baseball bat in their kid's hand or in the crib, like, hey, you, baseball, now. It's being talked about. That's what baseball needs. It needs more eyeballs, more people tuning in and saying, oh, they gave this guy $765 million, and he turned down $760 from the Yankees. Like, what the hell is going on over there? I saw Darren McFadden. Haven't heard from Darren McFadden in 15 years. He said he wished he would have learned how to hit a curveball instead of hitting the A-gap. Like, this is what we're talking about. People are excited about sports, about baseball because of the contracts. This is perfect. This is what baseball needs. We always talk about how does baseball become relevant by doing things like this in the offseason. Football never really has an offseason. We talk about it 12 months out of the year. Baseball has done something right now. Last year, not so much. You had Blake Snell and you had Jordan Montgomery sitting there the entire offseason.
Well, it's been this way for about 10 years now.
Well, waiting to be signed.
Yeah.
But when you sign huge contracts and people from outside of your sport are like, what in the hell is going on? Mm-hmm. Hey, kid, put the football down. Take this baseball glove and this bat and let's go work some things out. Mm-hmm. I think they've done something great.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, do you disagree? Because you think it's the elite getting more elite, the top getting better, and everybody else suffering. Well, if you don't like it,
not suffering.
Play better.
First of all, there's no victims here.
Okay, good.
Right? Like there's no victims.
Right.
The teams that don't spend, I've got no sympathy for you.
Sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, you don't spend. I've never blamed the Dodgers for being the top, being a world-class organization. I don't. Major League Baseball, I think, continues to miss the mark with its fans. And you just brought up a great point. The winter meetings are now exciting this season. It hadn't been this way in a long time.
Yeah.
It used to be that once the winter meetings happened, then you as a baseball fan, you're like, okay, who's going where?
Yeah.
And then there was this lull, and it kind of carried into January, and baseball was sabotaging itself.
Right.
At least for this offseason, it's not. I agree with that portion of it. Where I disagree is you have a regional sport. You do. And the only way you're going to capitalize on the majority of the markets is if baseball fans in that market feel as though their team has a shot. And today, Carey, 15 teams eliminated immediately. You can go through though? Half the league I can eliminate.
Are they?
Absolutely.
Because you still have to play the game.
And they won't play well enough.
Well, you know.
Right today I can eliminate 15. That's where I say baseball, you're cannibalizing yourself. Like, yeah, everybody's the top is getting rich. The players are rich. The owner, the top owners are getting rich. Like all that. I'm not disputing that fact. But when you can eliminate 15 teams in December when we haven't thrown one pitch, I'm sorry, your sport's not healthy from an entertainment standpoint. That's just my opinion. It might be from a profitability standpoint, clearly. You just handed Juan Soto $765 million. Clearly, it's your teams are profiting. 15 teams I can get rid of today. That's not fun.
I don't see it that way. I think that, people want to watch
you're a Dodger
Juan Soto.
fan.
I am. I wish he'd have went to the Dodgers. People want to watch Juan Soto. They want to watch Shohei Ohtani. They want to watch.
And they can't.
Yeah, they can. Sure, they can.
They live there.
They can if they live there.
I can. I want to watch them.
They can watch if they don't live there.
Yeah. Sounds like a bad deal they got going on there.
All right, that's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Don't forget, we're taking your mic drops. How do you feel about the Cardinals not being active? Are you basically okay with it because, well, I saw this coming? Or do you still find yourself angry now that you see a lot of the teams making some moves, or at least the top teams in the league making moves? We'll carry those mic drops throughout the course of the show, and we'll play them here on 101 ESPN. What's trending next? Over 700 new and used vehicles all in one location with discounted prices on every vehicle in stock. You can look for massive year-end dealer discounts at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. That's where you're going to find it. Up to $11,900 off MSRP on select new Nissan models. You can look for low finance rates available right now, like 0% APR for 60 months on Rogue, and then the available no payments for 6 months on select new Nissans, or no payments for 3 months on select used vehicles as well. So if you're looking for a car, a truck, a van, an SUV, a sports car, Auto Centers Nissan, they've got all different kinds of makes and models too. It's not just Nissans that they carry. In fact, they have one of the largest used vehicle selection that you're going to find in the greater St. Louis or Illinois area. As always, qualified new and used vehicles at Auto Centers Nissan come with a complimentary lifetime warranty. Plus, all new Nissans come with a 30-day return promise. No one offers this option, with 3 free oil changes included through the Nissan Maintenance Care Plan. It's fantastic, and it's all available at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum and online at autocentersnissan.com.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues get it done in overtime last night in Vancouver thanks to Dylan Holloway. He scores the game-winning goal. He has points in every single game under Jim Montgomery. since Jim Montgomery has taken charge behind the bench for the Blues. Jim Montgomery last night after the Blues' big win in Vancouver.
I thought Vancouver played well, and it's nice to beat a playoff team when they're playing well. And we were able to overcome some adversity in the game, momentum swings, and pull it out in the end.
Blues will take on Anthony's San Jose Sharks tomorrow. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. And you can listen to that one right here on 101 ESPN. Coming up next, we have What's Trendy. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
What's trending now in the world of sports?
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
What's Trending Now is brought to you by Goodwill, creating opportunities and changing lives. Together, building a brighter future. Give hope, give local, give Goodwill.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, I heard BK and Ferrario talking about this specific subject that I'm about to bring up. And when I heard it, I had to get your opinion on it, especially Carey Davis's opinion.
Carey Davis.
Because this is the dumbest thing and the softest thing I have ever seen in my life. In regards to sports.
Good tease.
So Adam Rittenberg, ESPN senior writer, wrote this on ESPN.com. If an Ohio lawmaker gets his way, teams attempting to plant their flags in the middle of Ohio Stadium during Ohio State games will be dealing with more than just pepper spray. Ohio State Representative Josh Williams introduced a bill Tuesday that would classify flag planting at Ohio Stadium around Buckeyes football games as a felony.
Yeah, I wonder if Mr. Williams played any sports, like at any level, because there's a competitive nature about what takes place, especially if you're Michigan and you beat your rival, Ohio State. If you don't like it, Ohio State fans, Ohio State Buckeye players and coaches and staff, and you, Mr. Williams, play better. You don't want people planting their flag in your stadium, beat the hell out of them, and they don't allow them by beating them. Mm-hmm. You're gonna create a law to prevent players from. First, come on, so you're really going to create this law? A player from who knows where, young man, 18 years old, 19 years old, has a great game, plants this flag, and then you're going to send him to jail? He's going to be committed. He committed a crime, a felony? He's going to stay on his record because your damn football team stinks? Come on, man. Stop it.
I feel like some people, they feel as though they're a little bit more important than they actually are.
Yeah.
You know?
Mr. Williams, I don't know if you played sports, but this is giving non-athletic vibes at any level.
Had he not hurt his shoulder in high school and how that his coach not screw him over, yeah, I'm sure he'd been a...
Right.
Is he a shortstop, too?
I never complained about
He probably, I don't know.
my shoulder.
That's the difference between you and that gentleman.
I don't like it. I think
don't
it
either.
is. I think it's kind
completely
of soft.
Soft is the exact word I thought of when I saw that article.
Yeah, I think it's kind of soft.
That's weak.
The bill says, in quote, no person shall plant a flagpole with a flag attached to it in the center of the football field at Ohio Stadium of the Ohio State University on the day of a college football competition. So you could do it on any other day. Whether before, during, or after the competition. Whoever violates this section is guilty of a felony of the 5th degree.
Does that include Ohio State can't plant their own flag there?
First of all, isn't it turf? You can't plant the flag in turf.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. These things just fall over. Remember Baker Mayfield? He was like,
Yeah.
he just kept going and going. Like, dude, it's turf.
It's so soft. It is. When he was putting this together, you ever wonder, like, when people do certain things, if they have friends around, like real genuine
Right.
friends.
I completely agree. I know what you're
you
saying.
got real genuine friends, because if you do, a genuine friend is gonna say, "Hey,
man, I like you, but
you my brother.
I like you, but you're crazy,
You're
man.
crazy,
That's
man. You're crazy."
like let that one go.
Like, what are you doing?
You start off slow playing it, right? You're like,
you want,
just
because he
let it go.
ran this by a few people,
Right.
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 Like, I think about putting a bill together that prevents opposing teams from planting their flags. I didn't like it at all. He's like, oh yeah.
Shouldn't Ohio State win?
Why don't you use your position for something better?
Yeah.
Crime.
That is a crime.
Literally anything else.
Maybe making I'm sure Ohio has potholes in the roads,
Yep.
like making sure that those infrastructure, like there are a lot of things.
Yeah.
As a representative for your state that you could worry yourself about. Let Ryan Day worry about whether or not the flags get planted in Ohio State in this year.
Let the new head coach worry about it.
You guys, man, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're going to lose to Tennessee. I had that epiphany today. I don't know why. I'm just like,
What happened to SEC teams going to Big Ten schools?
Yeah, but Knoxville's cold.
That's true.
If they go to Tennessee and this law is not in place, I hope Tennessee plants the flag then. If they lose, if they beat Ohio State at Ohio State, yeah, let them plant the flag there.
No.
Real quick here. You brought this up in the office, and I saw the video. I'm sure a lot of other people saw the video. The Brett Favre and Mark Gastineau video. What were your thoughts on that?
It made me uncomfortable.
And overall, like the sack itself for Michael Strahan. Like, did you think Brett Favre maybe could have thrown that ball away or done something completely different other than fall on the ground?
He gave Strahan the win there, or the sack, I should say.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. I felt bad for both guys, honestly. Like Brett Favre, maybe not the best dude, but I felt for him too, because he went on social media and was like, "Hey, listen, I was thinking of Strahan in that moment. I really wasn't thinking about Mark Gastineau," and like basically saying, I see his point, I understand it, but dude,
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I didn't feel bad for Brett at all. I was kind of hoping.
you felt bad.
I felt bad for Gastineau.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping.
I felt sorry for him, though.
I didn't because of all
I
the
felt
things.
sorry for Gastineau.
Yeah, I felt bad for Gastineau. I didn't care
he's
what
holding this.
Brett Favre should have sacked him there. He should have hit him. Like, you did this because again, and to Brett's credit, as we've learned the type of human being he is recently, he did say, I didn't take into consideration. You know, that was a time where players weren't making life-changing money. To be the all-time sack king for a leader for a season, to have that tag with you for the rest of your life until somebody actually broke it, would probably give Mark Gastineau some more opportunities to make more money, more autograph signings, more maybe a commercial where he can make some money because you are the all-time sack leader for a season. It does, it can and probably has changed his life. So I didn't feel bad for Brett Favre. I maybe because we know who and what he is.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's fair.
You seem to be. Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah. I thought about it from like Gastineau's standpoint. I'm like, man, you've held on to that. Like, he's
been harboring that.
He's
for
been
sure.
harboring that, and then he sees Favre, and like he is just unloading on Favre about how you hurt me, Brett. Like, you hurt. I'm like,
I thought it was kind of a joke at first, but then like I was like, this is not a joke.
You could tell Favre was.
He thought it was kind of like, because he's like, you might hurt me.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you hurt me.
You hurt me. He's like, oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
It's not the direction I thought this was going in. Well, I mean, do you think anybody breaks that record?
I kind of hope
TJ
so.
Watt almost did a couple of years ago.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Just so we can, or at least for him, he can.
Yes.
He's never going, but it's not. It won't be.
It won't be the same
because that time frame up until when Strahan broke it. And then if somebody else breaks it, like that's what 30, 40 years you're looking at where you are labeled as the sack king.
Right.
Right. that's something there are so many opportunities to make money off of that. If that's your, Idaho potatoes, the sack king, the sack of potatoes. I don't know. There are a lot of money opportunities.
You're
a marketing major.
Listen, my brain runs with marketing. I got a bunch of ideas.
All of a sudden, your name's on every sack potato race.
There you go.
Yeah.
The Mark Gastineau sack potato race. Like, there are so many
Idaho
opportunities.
Bowl, Mark Gastineau.
There you go.
Mark Gastineau, Idaho Potato Bowl.
Yeah, it's a lot of things he could have received from that, and he didn't.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Bill Belichick. It looks like he's inching closer here to becoming North Carolina's next head coach. Will this tarnish his legacy at all as a coach? It's next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey, and if you're a contractor or own a business that needs recycling, my good friends over at Scrap Mart Metals can help you. They're tailor-made for your business to meet your schedule and your budget. Job site cleanup for contractors is a mess. If you set up a business account with Scrap Mart to recycle that metal, it'll be one less thing you have to do during cleanup. You'd be amazed at how the scrap metals add up and can help your business's cash flow. But you don't have to own a business. If you had a garage sale, a yard sale, you got things that are left over, things that you need to get rid of that are recyclable, you can send them to Scrap Mart Metals as well. If you're a plumber, heating and cooling, an excavator, or a contractor, Scrap Mart Metals Recycling can make your job easier. They have 3 convenient locations: Valley Park, Peevely, Jonesburg. If it's metal, they will buy it. Copper wire, brass, stainless steel, aluminum, batteries, electric motors, steel, cast iron, and so much more. It is recycling made easy. They have a convenient drive-on scale. They offer the highest payout. You will always get top dollar for your scrap metal. So just visit them at scrapmartmetals.com. My guy Lucas can talk to you about setting up a business account if you need one. Just go to scrapmartmetals.com and tell him Carey sent you.
So apparently the ball is in Bill Belichick's court when it comes to potentially becoming the next head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels. It's fascinating on 101 ESPN. Now, Marsh, you would ask Carey and I whether or not this could potentially tarnish Bill Belichick's legacy.
Yeah, if it doesn't go right. If it doesn't go good.
So let's say, they're 6-6 and it's not great. Give him a couple of years. It just doesn't work. Mm-hmm. Does he have to be fired, or does it just not have to work?
I don't think he'll be fired.
Like 3 years in, doesn't work, and he just kind of steps aside.
Well, I think he has the plan of stepping aside regardless, and then his son will sort of take command of the ship in North Carolina. But I really don't think it'll tarnish his legacy by any means, but I think there will be a few people out there that think, man, this is kind of weird and not so much like a gimmick, but
right.
It's just weird having a guy who won as many Super Bowls as he did go to the college game.
Okay.
It's weird.
And I know that in certain instances, this is either a college coach going to the NFL and back, but when you think of Steve Spurrier, do you think his legacy is tarnished at all? What about Nick Saban?
Nick Saban did.
It was.
He didn't have that much success as a head coach at the NFL level.
No, he did. Yeah, and he wasn't around long enough. And you say he couldn't hack it at the NFL level, but then he gets to Alabama.
But he ended his career with what we know as Nick Saban, whereas Bill Belichick not only is going back to the college game, but also did not do good after Tom Brady left New England. So, our perspective of him has slightly changed over these past few years.
Right.
And I think you're going in the opposite direction. Mm-hmm. You're going from pro to college with Belichick, where those guys were going from college to pro. Mm-hmm. And it didn't work well for Spurrier went and coached at the for the Redskins at the time, and Saban was with the Dolphins at the time. It didn't work well because they were more suited for the college players at that time.
Oh, right.
I don't know that Bill Belichick is suited for college players.
Okay, but we're talking about whether or not it'll tarnish his legacy. I don't think it will, because we'll just say exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
He was more of an NFL coach. His style worked better in the NFL. Urban Meyer, I think his legacy got tarnished a little bit from the debacle that it was at Jacksonville.
I think some coaches are suited for either one or the other. I don't feel like Bill Belichick, you think he's going to be on the road recruiting?
No.
Do you think he's going to go to a player's home and sit on their couch and talk to their mother?
No, but I also think the college landscape has changed. Deion's not doing that now.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean? They've got now departments, and maybe it's just semantics, but they've got departments now where it's recruiting. They don't have to go anywhere. The coaches don't have to go anywhere. So this whole idea that you have to sit down with the families now, I don't know if it's the case. Now, maybe if it's a really big top recruiter, it's a transfer, maybe then. But I think Belichick can kind of get away with not having to sit down with every recruit and do the whole recruiting trail like it used to be. Either way, I don't see how his legacy can be tarnished. Mm-hmm. I think if people, Marsh, you brought up something interesting. You said this is somebody who couldn't get it done without Brady. Okay, fair, true, yes. But I've always countered with, what did Walsh win without Joe Montana? Did Andy Reid win a Super Bowl without Patrick Mahomes? No. You always have to, if you're a head coach, you have to have that quarterback. You do. Mm-hmm. If you're going to win multiple Super Bowls, you're going to have that quarterback.
Yeah, but some of the coaches have had multiple quarterbacks and have been able to get it done with multiple quarterbacks. He only had one guy and couldn't get the job, couldn't develop the next guy or get the next guy.
He had one guy, but he won, 7 with that one guy?
He won 6 with Brady.
Six with that one, and went to a handful of others. Why don't we criticize Tony Dungy more? He had Peyton Manning. He had one of the best quarterbacks ever.
He's
Like,
a nice
we
guy.
never-
He is a really nice guy.
Okay,
He's got like a halo.
we
over
never
his
go
head.
the other way. Why is that?
Well, he was going against Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
Okay,
Like,
but we want to tarnish Bill Belichick for
he
winning?
was going against him.
Exactly. So I don't think his legacy can be tarnished.
Yeah, I don't think I agree with you in that regard. I don't think it can be tarnished. I think it's going to be interesting because I don't know how this works. I don't know what it looks like. Like we said, we listened to the audio yesterday and him talking about, I want to have meals and this and this and this. And I'm like, well, they already, like every school is already doing that. Like it's not, you're not bringing in some new idea that hasn't been being done for the last 10, 15, 20 years. Like these things have already been taking place. So I don't know how. I don't know. For me, the lifeblood of a college program is the recruiting. Like me being a high school coach, I could tell if a head coach called me and asked me, I could tell him you probably got 2 years left at your job because the people that are recruiting stink. Like they're not good at their job. So if they can't go out and recruit kids to the level that you need them to sustain success, you're not going to have a job much longer.
Right.
So that becomes my question. How does he learn or transition into learning how being a recruiter, hiring the guys that can recruit? Because if you don't get the right kids in, they're not coming in because you are Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
They don't care. Some of them might not even know who the hell you are, and I'm not exaggerating because some of them were 6, 7, 8 years old when you were winning championships. They don't care.
Sure.
What are you going to do to get them to help them be the best? Now you got the Jordan brand. If you're at North Carolina, that's a seller. Everybody knows Jordan. Whether they know Bill Belichick, they know Michael Jordan. They know the logo. So you got that. But what else can you provide for those kids to say, yeah, I want to play at North Carolina?
Yeah. I mean, you can talk to the parents because the parents would know who he is. But I get you. I hear you. I do.
It trust me.
I know. But if you have aspirations to play in the NFL, here's what I got for you. I got 6 Super Bowl rings.
Yeah.
And
you have
a legacy.
aspirations, and so does Texas has players that go to the NFL. Michigan has players that go to the NFL. Ohio State does. Illinois does. Missouri does. Like all of these schools, it's not like he can't use me sending you to the NFL as the one thing that is going to hang my hat on.
yeah.
Kirby Smart can call Nick Sirianni and say, hey, I got a kid. You should take a look at him. Any school, most of the big name schools, they have coaches that can get in touch with the departments in the NFL. It's not. He doesn't bring. That's not going to be the thing that allows.
I understand that, but I mean, it's not like he just has the phone numbers. I mean, he
has the relationships, I'm sure.
He does, but
Yeah.
but obviously this man knows what he's doing from a football standpoint, an X's and O's standpoint.
Or
No,
did Tom Brady? Because that goes back to the initial conversation.
It's just all
He's
Brady?
not been. What's his record without Tom Brady?
okay, but again, what's Bill Walsh's record without Joe Montana? What's Andy Reid's what's Andy Reid's playoff record without Mahomes?
Andy Reid took 4 teams to the NFC Championship. And
I
they
know
couldn't
he
get
did.
over the hump.
And what happened?
They couldn't get over the hump.
You got Mahomes, and now he
Super Bowl.
can. So I don't buy that argument.
I don't know. We'll see.
You're turning me into a Belichick fan. I don't
You
like it.
are. I see it. Just do your job. Sorry, I'm trying.
Not talking about open heart surgery here.
I think at the end of the day, people start to remember you for like the things that you did last in your life. Like think about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has been an unbelievable quarterback. What has he done the past few years?
Sucked Ola.
And now everyone thinks he's crap.
Yeah.
He is.
He is, though.
They're not wrong.
He had a
when
nice
they
game
think
against
that.
the Dolphins. I
Did they
will
win?
admit. No.
Okay.
You had me.
It's a fast lane on 101 ESPN. Dylan Holloway is the greatest player ever. We'll tell you why next on 101 ESPN.
puts it in, drives the net, shoots, he scores! Bring out the Zamboni! Dylan Holloway had a game tonight. He scores the game winner for the Blues. They skate to a 4-3 win in overtime in Vancouver, and they pick up 6 out of 8 points on a difficult West Coast trip. 3:20 to go in overtime. Dylan Holloway, the hero.
Chris Gerber on the call last night as the Blues win in overtime in Vancouver. It's the Fast Line on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. The screen flashed up here and the numbers are gone, but I do want to go back to that previous segment for a second here. Willie from the Snake Pit, our guy Willie, had the records for, you got him?
Yep, 183 and 120. 183, 120 and 1 for Andy Reid without Mahomes. Mm-hmm. Bill Belichick 83 and 101 without Tom Brady.
Which is why I was really careful to say what did Andy Reid do in the postseason until he got Mahomes. Now he went to 4 straight NFC Championship games and lost the 1 Super Bowl. He did have success. It took Mahomes for us to stop talking about his game management, the fact he'll never get over the hump, this, that, and the other thing. That was my point.
Bill ain't been to the postseason without Brady.
He should have with Matt Castle. He should have. No. They had an 11-win team. They didn't make the playoffs.
You don't like it, play better.
Okay. All right. Yeah, he sucks. Guy sucks.
That's all I'm saying. Thank you, Willie. Appreciate you making our point. Our point.
Yeah.
Good job. Back numbers. Numbers to back it.
Guy sucks.
Yeah.
That's what I've been telling you guys for a while.
We all say it. Yeah. What are you talking about?
I'll correct myself moving forward. I will stand by this, though. Dylan Holloway, one of the greatest players ever. He's been fun to watch.
Okay.
It's a core player.
He's been outstanding. He has been really good.
I
was telling Marsh this earlier, and I don't know how Marsh felt about it because we were talking about kind of the line combinations, and Marshy had one player that he wasn't really high on, but I was saying I would like to see Dylan Holloway at the center position with Neighbors and Bolduc on the same line with him.
No.
And then put Shin as that third line center.
No.
And you figure some things out. Why?
Mm-mm.
Why not?
Center's brutal.
It's easy. Anybody can do it.
No. So easy a caveman can do it. No.
No?
Okay.
No,
I do
I'm
think
fine with the current setup. No, I don't want him centering.
Unless he has to. I think he has found his bread and butter right now, and I think the Blues have something good going, so I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah. It's like, hey, Carey, you're a really good blocker as a fullback. I'm going to put you at guard.
Sign me up. Do I get the pull? Because that's the only time I'm going to be good is I'm on the move.
No.
If I got to sit in there, if I got to pass pro.
You got to pass protect.
We going to be in trouble.
We pass pretty much every down.
Oh, no, that's a bad decision. Put me at guard.
Yeah. Could you do it?
Probably.
Probably.
I'm going to be cutting every snap.
Right.
I'm going to fight my butt off.
Or we could put you at your best spot.
Okay. Well, if you say so.
There you go.
Anthony, you mentioned Dylan Holloway being a core piece. Do you think that he could be? I know you brought this up a couple weeks ago after he had a really good game, but he's been fantastic since Montgomery has taken over. I think, like, heading into the season, I thought he would just be another one of those guys that you bring in and you're like, all right, like, let's see what this looks like. Mm-hmm. And he's another young piece. You know, we've seen Doug Armstrong do that the past few years, bring in these guys and let them just go, and then we'll work from there. I genuinely believe if he plays like this consistently, like, he will be like, you know, obviously Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou are those two top guys.
Right.
You know, Pavel Buchnevich as well. But I think Dylan Holloway, if his game continues to grow, like, we're going to be talking about him in the same breath as those other guys.
Couldn't agree more. I think you're already seeing it now.
Yeah.
Can he sustain it?
That's the biggest question.
That's the question. That's how you go from, man, this guy's sparking to, you know, this guy's a spark to, oh, he's a core piece. Mm-hmm. It's that consistency. It's doing it over and over and over again. I think that the Blues have a budding young core that, you know, I'm not going to use hyperbole here, but it's exciting to think about the core of Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou and Dylan Holloway and Pavel Buchnevich and maybe even a Broberg that can carry this team from, we're going to retool, we'll see if they're a, you know, playoff team to you're a threat. Mm-hmm. You're a threat in the Western Conference.
And I felt the same way about Jake Neighbors last year when he started to heat up. I'm like, okay, this guy is starting to play into what I think people thought that he could be. You know, I think he struggled at the beginning of his career, but then, you know, a little bit of time in the NHL, started to find his footing, found out that if you just go to the front of the net, you can have a ton of success in this league.
Yeah.
So he's also in that conversation. But I think now we got to throw Dylan Holloway in there based on what we've seen in this past stretch.
So let's hear from Jim Montgomery, head coach of the Blues, on what he liked most out of Holloway last night.
How many one-on-one battles he won? He just kept winning battles, skating around people, creating offense, and killing plays defensively that led to transition offensively.
Marsh, you've played the game of hockey. You certainly know it better than we do. But when I hear a coach talk about winning one-on-one battles, that to me it screams compete.
Oh, absolutely.
You're competing. And that was the thing that Craig Berube kept saying over and over. He wants to compete. I can't imagine that's different for Jim Montgomery. So when you see a guy win consistently those board battles, or at least have that effort, those are the guys you want leading your squad.
Absolutely. Those are the things that I look for. Like when I go to the games, you know, we always joke about people yelling, shoot, you know, pass it, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm yelling like, let's win a board battle. Like, let's make the first pass. Let's block shots. Like, he led the team in blocked shots. I think he had 5 last night.
Right.
Like, he did everything that, as a Blues fan, you would want to see. And Jim Montgomery talked about playing to this city, right? It's a blue-collar city. Like, this is what fans want to see. I think this is why fans have so many gripes about Jordan Kyrou, because you don't see that all the time, or at least you didn't. Now, Jordan Kyrou's been playing a lot better this year. And I hope that a lot of the fans and listeners would agree with that. Some people, you're never going to change their mind.
Sure.
Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
But I think this is a player that you will start to see people start buying jerseys. And I think that's a huge indicator about where they are in respects to, you know, Blues fans and what they think about a player.
Absolutely. Blues, Sharks, pregame tomorrow, 6 o'clock right here on 101 at ESPN. So we asked for your mic drops via the 101 ESPN Schaefer Door Company mobile app. We asked for your mic drops about the Cardinals and where you are right now on this Cardinals team. And how do you feel about the offseason now that it's in full swing? The winter meetings have been fun. Are you cool with like you had the expectations set properly, so you know the Cardinals weren't going to be active in it, but now that things are rolling, do you feel differently? So we'll play your mic drops next on the Cardinals here on 101 ESPN. So earlier in the show, we asked you for your mic drops on the Cardinals and kind of your feelings thus far on what has been a very fun and exciting winter meetings that hasn't included your team. For me, Carey, it's like, I know what the expectations were. I knew they weren't going to be overly active, but how do our listeners feel? Well, why don't we get to Brian first?
I wasn't expecting a lot. I thought maybe they would have moved Arenado already, but I can understand why it's taken a long time. It's a lot of money, and it's a long process probably for a guy like that who has to make sure he wants to go where he wants to go. One thing I am surprised they didn't do is pick up some sort, whether a trade or free agent. And it didn't have to be a top free agent, just could have been a decent bat. I mean, we really need a right-hander in the outfield, another one. Because I was thinking about it today. You look at our outfield, starting right-handed hitting outfielder, the only one is Walker. Your subs are Burleson and Donovan, and your two center fielders are left-handers, and Newt's a left-hander. I mean, we're heavy left-handed, and I'm just kind of wondering, we heard tentpole bat by Derek Gould last year, and I know plans change, but I mean, you can't tell me you can't go out there and find somebody that's got a lot of righties that needs a lefty, and we have plenty of lefties. I don't know. I was just waiting for something like that. I knew nothing real big, but I was just kind of surprised we didn't get a right-handed bat with some pop. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, that's interesting. I really didn't, and I don't know why, because they did make the move last year to bring in Tommy Pham to occupy one of those other spots. But ultimately, if you don't trade one of your current lefties for a right-hander, then I don't want to see them bring in some salty veteran like they've been known to do just because he's a righty. Mm-hmm. But I do see his point. I do see Brian's point. You are lefty heavy right now in the outfield.
I mean, yeah, you are, but what are you gonna do about it? Like, you have to play the best players. And I know I've never been a person the right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand. I don't care.
Mm-hmm. Can you play or not?
Can you play? Like, can you hit the ball? Can you hit right-handed pitching? Can you hit left-handed pitching? No matter what side of the plate you're hitting from, that's all I care about. Mm-hmm. I don't care if it's 4 lefties in a row. If they all can hit, they all can get on base. The 4 right, whatever. Just hit the ball. And I mean, I understand, because that was one of the concerns. You didn't have any right-handed hitting off of the bench, right? You right. Needed that. But this lineup, again, with Herrera, if he's your starting catcher because you move Contreras to first base, that's an extra right-handed bat now that you have in the lineup. So now you're more even than you were in years past. You have 4 right-handed bats and you have 5 left-handed, depending on how this all shakes out. If Nolan Arenado is not here, mm-hmm. So I think it's okay.
How many steals do you think? I was just thinking about this when you brought up like Herrera,
how many steals are going to give up?
Yeah,
1,000.
I think so too.
Yeah, 1,000.
If there's a team out there that faces the Cardinals and doesn't steal as soon as they get on first, that manager should be fired immediately.
Probably. Like right after that inning?
Correct.
Before they go out to the field. Before
they go out to the field, the
owner should say, you know what, you're fired.
Yeah.
You no longer have a job here.
Yeah. Why?
Because you didn't steal.
Well, it wasn't the right... No, it's always the right time against the Cardinals.
We had a catcher on first base. Steal.
Exactly. They got a catcher. They got their best catcher at first base. What are we doing?
Take off.
Yep. So I was thinking,
you know what, Anthony? It's going to be better this year.
Okay.
Because you can only go up.
Yeah, maybe. Donovan is our next mic drop. Donovan McNabb stops in.
Yeah, hey, D-Mac.
Yeah, from a Cardinals fan standpoint, it kind of sucks seeing all these teams make big acquisitions like this and a lot of payroll being spent. But from a baseball standpoint, I think it's awesome seeing all these big contracts and these owners really bucking up, because it's kind of telling the rest of the MLB, these owners, to buck up or get out of the industry. I mean, we're at that point where you need to make a decision to either this is no longer just a business. This is baseball, baby. You got to buck up, and you got to spend some money if you want your team to be successful, or your fans are going to lose interest. So I'm excited to see. I think we'll see a lot of maybe ownership changes in the near future, and seeing new owners that want to spend money and want a successful baseball team, rather than just like someone like the A's who's just there to make a little money and have the lowest payroll ever.
I don't think you're going to see many owner changes.
Steve, I
got
love
a cash cow.
I love your optimism. I really do. I would love to believe that.
Yeah, nah.
I would love to believe that the owners are like, hey, I'm a baseball fan. I want to win, so I'm going to invest. There's too many really bad organizations that are making money, and that owner's not. You've got one of 30 pieces of jewel, you know?
Yeah.
You've got one gold ticket.
You
out of 30.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to force them out.
No, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So, I love I love kind of the ideology of what you're saying, but the Pittsburgh Pirates owner has no reason to sell. Even he is making money, and he's got a crap product. So,
yeah. Not happening.
But again, I like the thought process.
I mean, it's a wonderful thought.
Yeah. All right, Steve is up, so let's hear from Steve Cohen, who left this mic drop.
I don't think that's him either.
Hey, guys, I appreciate their honesty, to tell you the truth. I mean, in years past, they said they were going to do stuff, and then they didn't, and all that. And I think it's refreshing, and I'm looking forward to seeing a team of these young guys getting out there and getting after it. So, anyway, I've been a long-time Cardinal fan, but that's how I feel about it. Hey, thanks. Good job, guys.
No, thank you, Steve. I'm with Steve. Yeah.
I agree 100% with Steve. I think the way and the path that they are taking now, you made a commitment to say, hey, we're not going to bring back some of these guys that have been mainstays here, Paul Goldschmidt. Now we're talking about moving on from Nolan Arenado. It opens up spots for people that are younger to play so you can evaluate them. There's only one way to evaluate whether or not you need to continue down this path with a specific player or it's time to move on, and that's to give them opportunities. Mm-hmm. You can't do it in the minors. You can't do it by them playing sparingly. They got to play. And they got to play every day. They got to play 130, 140 games to evaluate if they are capable of doing this on a regular basis. And then if they are not, you have plans in place to move on from that player. But I can't evaluate Nolan Gorman at second base when I got to have Brendan Donovan there. I can't evaluate him at third base when I got to have Nolan Arenado there. I can't evaluate him at DH when I'm playing Alec Burleson there. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't get a true depiction of what this player is or who he's going to be if I don't let him play. Yeah. So I'm excited about the direction that they're headed because for me, it feels like the first time in a long time that I have a clear understanding of what the path is. We didn't even get a post end of season press conference last year. We had no clue that Tommy Edman was going to miss the entire year as a St. Louis Cardinal and get traded to the damn Dodgers and win the championship. Mm-hmm. Who knew that? Nobody. Like, you had no clue as to what the plan was going forward this year. Now, they didn't do it well, but they came back, circled back, and got it together.
Have you guys ever, like, reorganized a room? You know, the furniture had been there for a while, and either you bring in a new piece. You don't even bring in a new piece. You just reorganize the same room.
Yep.
There's that sense of, like, man, this is kind of wow. Like you almost become energized by it. Like
more space.
This looks amazing.
Yeah.
Same room, same furniture, organized differently.
You know what? I was thinking about that when we moved earlier today.
Well, no, that's
if we should go and yeah.
No,
it'll be more space.
We have less space. We changed offices today. The worst office in the building. It's not even close.
Listen, it is an opportunity.
We are sitting on each other's laps.
You are looking at this the wrong way. It is an opportunity for us to band together as brothers. We can touch each other without even moving.
Well,
we can reach out and just be shoulder to shoulder, back to back, elbow to. You're missing the opportunity here, Anthony. You're not. It's about how you view it.
That's interesting. I spent a lot of time with you guys. I don't know if we need to be that close. Yeah. Elliot goes, so much room for activities. But anyways, getting back to the very bad analogy. It is. It's like you walk in. That's how I feel with the Cardinals right now. Mm-hmm. I've seen it. I've seen what you've done. I've seen the Lance. I don't need to see it anymore. So walking into the same room, but yet it's reorganized differently, I'm cool with it. Mm-hmm. I have the expectations. My expectations aren't very high. But I'd rather watch this team win 83 games with young players than 83 games with the front office telling us that you're trying with Brandon Crawford and Matt Carpenter and Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson. And no offense to any of those guys. Kyle Gibson was a nice Cardinal for a year. Brandon Crawford, now retired, one of the players that I really enjoyed, like one of the more underrated players in his prime. I really enjoyed watching him play shortstop. I did. Mm-hmm. But Matt Carpenter, the catalyst for all those offenses in the mid-2000s. Yeah. Incredible Cardinal. Should wear a red jacket one day. Mm-hmm. I don't need to see that again, though. And the Cardinals like, hey, we got new paint. You didn't get new paint.
There's a new color.
You got
freshened up the paint.
You went down to the garage there, and you brought back paint that you'd used 10 years ago. It ain't good. Mm-mm. So I'd rather watch the young guys.
Can I read this text real quick?
Absolutely.
From the 636, it says, how do you experts, air quotes.
Nobody says we're experts.
No, that's what the 636 said.
Okay, well, that's
experts.
That's on you, 636.
Not know who Gorman is by now. Please stop selling us turds.
When did we say anything about Nolan Gorman?
Yeah,
I just said
nobody's selling you on anything. I just
give him more opportunities to know who he is.
Do you see? This is the mentality here of people.
But maybe they're talking to me. I don't know.
No, he put an S on that. He pluralized that.
Nobody's selling you on Gorman. Nobody's selling you saying that this is going to be a better product. What I'm saying, I literally just said, I'd rather watch his team win 83 games again with this squad because at least it's something different. Nobody's selling you on anything.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why Anthony does not have the text line.
No, because I would be on the text line, good or bad, all show. You would lose me every show. This is me. If somebody says something nice, Anthony, I really like your take. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. That'd be me. And then this clown gets text in, and he's like, you experts, blah, blah. I would be hammering him. I'd be in this tit for tat. Yeah. I don't need it.
At least you get to do it on the air.
Yeah, even better.
Like, what the hell? Nobody's selling you on anything. Nobody's telling you this Cardinals team's going to be better. You think we're saying that. Get out of your dome.
I just said it gives you an opportunity to actually find out who they are.
Exactly.
More of an opportunity, more information.
Was talking to you.
He was.
Yeah.
That's fine. But I appreciate my brother taking up for me.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I got you.
You take one of us on, you're going to get off.
Yeah, Carey, you expert.
Yeah.
That's what did it. That's what did it for me.
I never said I was an expert. But
you're expert.
Yeah.
You're experts.
Yeah.
Come on. We call each other idiots constantly.
Yeah.
The biggest idiots in the group. That's probably why we got the worst office. They're like, just shove these idiots in a coat closet. They'll be fine.
They won't know any better. It's an opportunity, man. Bonding. Yeah.
This is funny.
Get closer. You know?
Martin's dangly bits from the snake pit. Anyone else thinks where Anthony needs to take calls?
Live calls.
AB, Anthony doesn't know what he's talking about. I know. I'm telling you for years. All right. This is Fastline on 101 ESPN. Eddie says, Anthony, your takes are spectacular. Thanks, Eddie. I think highly of you. Very highly of you. And this is a live look at what the text line would be if I had it up constantly. It'd be that all show. Just me going over the top on people that were negative or positive. All right, let's do a little Prove Me Wrong next. If you got a Prove Me Wrong take, and by the way, we will do this again later in the show with the mic drop, so if you want to throw in some mic drops for us, we appreciate it, and we'll revisit this topic a little bit later on. But the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. If you have a Prove Me Wrong take that you want to send in, we'll play Prove Me Wrong next on 101 ESPN. I always talk about being a club member of the Missouri Athletic Club. It's not just for me, though. It's for the family, too. Whether I'm taking my kids to summer camps or they've got different winter camps going on. School gets out and they're like, hey, what are we going to do here? We're going to babysitter. Hey, why don't we involve them in camps and keep them active throughout the summer break and then the winter break as well. Missouri Athletic Club, they always have great events going on, though, whether it is a breakfast with Santa or maybe it's a Santa workshop like I saw on their website that they have for club members. There's always something going on, West Clubhouse or downtown. That's my MEC, Missouri Athletic Club.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues get a big victory last night in Vancouver. They defeat the Canucks 4-3 in overtime. Dylan Holloway, the hero last night for the Blues. He gets the game winner in OT. Here's Jim Montgomery on the Blues taking down the Vancouver Canucks.
I thought Vancouver played well, and it's nice to beat a playoff team when they're playing well. and we were able to overcome some adversity in the game, momentum swings, and pull it out in the end.
Blues will take on the Sharks tomorrow night. You can listen to that right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. We just took your mic drops on your St. Louis Cardinals and how you feel about them not being involved in what has been a fun winter meetings. Continue sending us mic drops. We'll hit on that once again throughout the remainder of the show. If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Schaefer Door Company 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We have Prove Me Wrong coming up next, so get those text messages into the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Prove Me Wrong coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Prove me wrong, kids. Prove me wrong.
All right, time to prove me wrong here on 101 ESPN. This is where you, the listener, can send in a prove me wrong statement that Carey and I need to argue against. And then Andrew Marsh plays judge, jury, and executioner.
What?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Outstanding young man over there.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right, Judge, appreciate you having us back into your courtroom.
Yeah, absolutely. Just make sure you don't plant any flags. Otherwise, you're going to jail for 12 months.
Oh, all right. Fair enough.
All right. From the 636. Prove me wrong. If Major League Baseball had a transfer portal, the Cardinals would look more like a mid-major than they would an SEC team.
Oh, if the players could transfer out? Oh.
And transfer in, Carey.
Oh, well, no, you're completely wrong. They would look like, the Yankees, because who doesn't want to play here in St. Louis? Nobody has to worry about fees and being paid. If you could choose a place to be, where else would you rather be than in St. Louis, Missouri, playing for the St. Louis Cardinals in front of the best fans in baseball? There's nothing else players would want to do if all things are equal, right? If you could, some players want to leave. Those are the players you don't want. You don't want to be here? You don't want to be in baseball heaven? Are you crazy?
Get out.
Get out now, as quickly as possible, so we can make room for those that want to be here. Shohei, right? Aaron Judge.
Yeah, keep going.
Why would you shake your head? No, I was on a roll. You took your head. You
I was waiting for you to say Giancarlo Stanton.
Was it?
Who told us? No, we didn't want to be here.
I was on a roll.
No, you were doing good.
He stopped me, and we got buzzed.
I was waiting for the free zoo part to come in.
Get around to it.
How is he doing, Judge?
Oh, no, he already got the X.
How was I doing?
How was he doing?
Oh, you weren't winning that regardless.
Oh, gosh.
It was a failed...
His client was guilty.
Yeah.
The evidence was there.
Yeah, you're just trying to get a reduced
murder weapon
sentence.
was found.
Yes.
You were trying to get a reduced sentence.
But if you didn't see it, it didn't happen.
They had the cam
Video.
right there. Yeah, video.
Yeah, video.
Multiple angles.
You actually smiled at the camera and said, I'm the guy.
It wasn't me.
Your client turned himself in. Full confession. Yeah.
He's an idiot, then.
It wasn't me. It was the one-armed man. From the 636, prove me wrong. The type of rebuild the Cardinals are doing right now won't make them a World Series contender as fast as if they just tore it down to the studs.
No, I disagree with that. You do have some building blocks. We can complain about the Cardinals, the last couple of years, but Mason Wynn is a building block. Jordan Walker could be a building block. You've got some young pitchers like Tink Hence that do we know for a fact they're going to develop? No, but he's constantly in the mix of top 100 prospects in all of baseball. There was a couple of signs last year from young pitchers that you got excited about, whether it's at the major league level or in the minor leagues. Tearing it completely down and then starting over, you're hoping that you're tanking the right way. there are more teams tanking, quote unquote, than ever. It wasn't like Houston and Chicago when they were tanking, almost guaranteed to get in that top 3 picks. The Cardinals did it now. Who's to say that they get the number 1 overall pick, number 2 overall pick when you've got other teams that are bad too?
And they got the 5th overall pick when they were outside of the top 10.
Exactly. So I think you have to retool. You've got enough. If you had an aging roster that was just bad, overpaid, then you could make the claim, tear it down to the studs and start over. But that's not the case here. You don't have a ton of bad contracts. You have essentially one, and it's not even that bad. It's Arenado. So, no, I don't think you tear it down.
Good job, Anthony. Way to bounce back after ruining Carey's opportunity.
I don't think I ruined it. I didn't even say anything.
I mean, he was going to lose either way, but you definitely didn't help.
That's fair.
You were an accomplice.
That's fair, yeah.
From the 636, prove me wrong. Patrick Mahomes has been one of the 10 worst quarterbacks this season.
You've never seen Desmond Ritter play. You've seen Trevor Lawrence play. I mean, I can give you some names of some guys. Will Levis, Mason Rudolph, Kirk Cousins. Who else you got? We got
Jones.
We got some guys. It's been bad. It's been really bad. Aaron Rodgers. You got come on, Deshaun Watson, Dak Prescott, Tommy DeVito. What are we doing? Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
I was waiting for 10.
Yeah.
All I needed was 10 names.
I think we had more, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I think Daniel Jones, he's out of a job.
3 Raiders quarterbacks. Let's just start there.
Aiden O'Connell, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Nah, he's been on. Yeah.
Lipsis 150 from the Snake Pit says, I wouldn't say Arenado's a bad contract. I would say Miles Michaelis and Steven Matz are bad contracts. Those guys, though, only have 1 year left. So you're kind of done.
Let's get to one more. Mm-hmm. And we can either go the route that has the Steelers involved in it, or we can go the route that has the Falcons involved in it.
Let's go Steelers. They're more relevant, and they'll always be more relevant.
Sounds good. Okay. From the 314, prove me wrong. Michael Penix Jr. should be the starting quarterback for the rest of the season.
No, you don't want to throw a quarterback in there that is going to be under duress the way that Kirky Cousins is. I mean, we talked about it earlier. We blame a lot on Kirk, and it ain't been good. But that offensive line, you bring 6 people. You got 6 people to block them. You should be able to pick them up, right, and not have somebody staring in your quarterback's face as he's trying to deliver a ball. You don't want to put a young quarterback in that type of environment where things aren't being done well. When you're behind because your defense is giving up tons of points, and now what do you have to do when you're down by a lot of points, Anthony?
Throw.
You got to throw. And what does the defensive line do when they know you got to throw?
Pin their ears back.
Pin their ears back. And what happens to quarterbacks when they're standing in the pocket with defensive linemen pinning their ears back, going after them?
If you're Kirk, you throw interceptions.
Well, he gets hurt. He gets hit a lot, and you don't want to put that type of pressure on a young man. You roll with Kirky Cousins. He's had some good games. Now, he's had some bad games, but he's had some good games, and you allow him to finish this season out. You're probably not going to make the playoffs. You don't worry about it. You start fresh next year as Michael Penix takes the role of your starting quarterback for the 2025 season.
You did a good job there.
Thank you.
I think he should be the quarterback the rest of the year.
Yeah. What do you mean?
I think he should.
You've already beat us.
Why did you?
What are you talking about?
The Vikings already beat us. So
no, I saw a video of Kirk, and he's just a nice guy. I feel bad if he got relieved of his duties.
I am so sick of you saying how nice of a guy Kirk Cousins is.
So nice. He literally talked to every single person on that sideline for the Vikings after the game.
You don't think he's nice?
Well, he should be nice to them. They should be nice to him. He gifted them at least 2 gifts. They should be calling him Santa Kirk. They should be, thank you, Santa Kirk. We didn't realize you were going to show up early with all these gifts, with your bag full of gifts of immobility and crap throws. Thank you. Why? He's not there anymore. He's not in Minnesota. Why do you have to continue to hurt me?
He still roots for him.
I still have. I have. There's something in me.
You know I didn't like Kirk. You know I didn't like the signing.
You did for a couple weeks.
I did after 2 Tampa games.
You came in here after that Tampa game, after the first one,
and this is
overtime throw to Hodge. You were like, this guy, 500 yards, 5 football fields. You were excited. And then he did it again against the Tampa Bay Bucks, and you were once again excited. And then it kind of went downhill from there.
I think it's tough to put those expectations on a young quarterback to drag the team back into first place and go on a run. The expectations are really high, Anthony, and your expectations are high for Michael Penix Jr. You've been a fan of him ever since the draft. I just don't want that for the young man. It could ruin his development.
Anthony,
I think if your team's gonna stink, you might as well keep the stinky quarterback in.
I got to tell you, now you probably don't want to hear this, but if the Falcons get into the playoffs, they will make the NFC Championship game.
There's no way.
They will.
There's no way.
They will.
No.
Kirk Cousins is doing the exact opposite
I can't agree on that.
of what he's been doing his entire career. He's played well in the regular
Can I ask you a serious question?
And stunk in the playoffs.
And this is more directed to Marsh.
Get hot.
Why? What did I do? What did I do to you?
What?
Because I love Michael Penix.
Yeah.
I've been excited.
That's what I'm saying.
When he was at Washington, I said I would draft this kid #1 overall.
Yes.
Now, was I wrong in that? Yeah.
Were you?
But then he goes to my favorite team.
You don't want to see him play this year?
Anthony,
the team that...
Let's give this guy some time to breathe.
One guy I didn't want the Falcons to sign was Kirk Santa Cousins.
Well, you know what? I think this is a blessing in disguise for you.
How?
Well, you're not paying his contract.
I realized I was never going to pay that contract, but I have wanted to see Michael Penix play in a Falcon uniform since April.
He's played already.
You just want Kirky Boy to go
He's
out
had
there.
snaps this year.
In a blowout loss to Denver.
Anthony.
After Kirk threw 3 picks in that game.
You just got to wait.
I don't want to wait.
We need patience.
I don't
Be patient.
Be patient. Alanis Morissette.
I don't think so. Who is that, Marsh? Is that Jewel or something?
I have no idea. I think it's from a TV show.
It's Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, it is.
But still, who is it? Who's the artist?
I don't know.
Which one of those white singers that nobody's heard from again?
You didn't,
Jewel?
You didn't like it.
Alanis wouldn't sing that. AB from the Snake Pit. Creed.
That's always Creed.
All right, it's a fast
By
one.
Paula Cole.
Oh, yeah, Paula Cole. That's right. Yeah.
Never heard
That's
of
J. Cole's wife. Mother. Something. All right. Despite the flaws that we have seen in college football, the playoff format, I should say, despite the flaws, you guys still digging this format? That's next on 101 ESPN. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter. So I was listening to the Ryan Russillo podcast, and Ryan from The Ringer, formerly of ESPN, does a great job. But he was asking Todd McShay, who was one of his guests. Todd. He was asking him if this is a better format for college football than what we've had in the past. And he said, for example, if we had the old BCS, we would just have Georgia and Oregon in the play for the national championship. That would be the matchup. Mm-hmm. And Todd had the same reaction as I did when Ryan was like, would you be okay with that? Hell no.
Not at all.
I don't really understand this notion of, well, hey, college football, because of the conferences and the way everything shakes out, it's not like the NFL where you're kind of playing a balanced schedule. We all know there's differences in the conferences.
Right.
So, therefore, we all know that there's differences in the schedule. Hell, an SEC schedule may not be the same as an SEC schedule. Georgia
Correct.
and Texas did not play the same schedule this year.
Correct.
So I don't understand this notion of, well, it's all about crowning the best team. Okay, in an imperfect world, though, you're never going to know the exact best team because none of the teams are going to be playing similar schedules.
Right.
So why would you then forego the entertainment value to try to find the quote-unquote best matchup and the best team when it's imbalanced right from the get-go? Mm-hmm. You might as well have fun with it, is my point.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the notion that because you just can't assume, like in years past, you said Georgia and Oregon would be playing in this game.
The BCS, this would be the BCS national championship.
If it was, I don't even know how it would look if it was the Final Four like it has been the last few years, because I don't think Boise State would be in, nor do I think.
You'd probably have like Oregon, Georgia, Texas, and I don't know.
There you go.
Penn State.
Notre Dame.
Ohio State, Notre Dame, yeah.
So that to me is you're leaving some teams out as well. I love the format. I love the opportunity to see a Boise State play against a team that they could possibly beat. I think they got SMU or Penn State if they win. Like that to me is exciting because I watched Boise State go toe-to-toe with the number one team in the country. I want to see Penn State play because I just watched them put up 35, almost 40 points. Was it 42 to 35, something like that, against
something
Oregon?
Like that. 30, I think they scored 36.
They were scoring left and right. So I want to see Ohio State. How do they rebound from their terrible loss to Michigan? What are they going to look like? What is Texas going to look like? What is Georgia going to look like if Carson Beck is unable to play? Like, I think all of these things matter. So I'm excited just to see how this all plays out. You got multiple teams. You got a lot of opportunities for good football going forward, and it's much better than just having 2 teams or 4 teams to choose from.
Do you think they need to reseed or get rid of the buys that are going to the top 4 conference winners? Because
100%.
Penn State, they lose the Big Ten championship, and what is their reward? Well, they get to take on SMU, and if they win, they get to play Boise State.
Right.
That's because they lost the Big Ten championship.
You know how you fix that? You know how you fix it?
What?
Win the Big Ten championship.
Reseed though.
Why?
Well, no. They lost the Big Ten championship, and now they get to play SMU, and if they win, they get to play Boise State.
And I'm saying,
as opposed to
if they won, then they wouldn't be in that position.
No, but they would
that's
host
an easy
Ohio
position.
State. Yeah, they would host Ohio State or Tennessee, as opposed to going to play Boise in a neutral site. He's saying Penn State's got an easier road, at least on paper, and he's right.
By losing.
Yeah.
Well,
I think you should reseed.
I don't know. I don't care. I want teams. You are where you don't. The reseeding doesn't do anything for me. Like they don't reseed the NCAA tournament when guys, if a 16 beats a 1, you still play that schedule or whatever it is.
But they reseed in the NFL.
But it ain't the NFL. They don't reseed in the NBA. They don't reseed like.
Okay, but what? Why wouldn't you though?
Why would it matter? Why is it that okay, we're the number one team, so we should have the easiest path?
Yeah, because then the regular season matters even more. You battle your ass off to get the number one seed.
Okay. You're gonna have to beat one of those teams eventually if they're that good.
Sure, but
so you're saying, well,
why have the best record then?
You got a first round bye. And you have, if it stays seeded the way that it is, the teams that are better or the teams that it's supposed to pan out to where Penn State is playing and not SMU. Like it's supposed to work out the right way, in my opinion. Like I just feel like the way that it's seeded for the higher seeded team to win. They're supposed to win that game, and they're the ones that are going to move on. So if it works out how it is,
right,
then you're playing the team that you're supposed to be playing.
I think you should. I think they should reseed, and I don't think the automatic bye should go to a team like Boise. Like I think you should. So unless they're clearly the top, one of the top 4 teams.
What I'm saying is that you would rather have. So let's say Texas beats Clemson, which they should. Mm-hmm. They should be playing Arizona State. But if Clemson beats Arizona State, you think that they should be the ones going to Oregon.
Correct.
Why? They just beat the number 5 team, which means that they are
the lower seed.
But that doesn't mean that they're the worst team. They just beat the team that was ranked higher. So what you're saying to me, they were the better team regardless of where they were seeded.
Sure. So let's do this with the NFL. The Bills beat whoever. Mm-hmm. Now the Chiefs have to play the Bills.
You got to win. You got to beat them.
But
I get your point in terms of the receding, but
I know you don't care.
They shouldn't. How it all plays out, it's not supposed to go that way.
Well, I'm saying fix it.
All right,
Carey.
You know what?
Here's the thing: if you don't care, then you know what? Let Marsh and I have it. Have this one thing.
We're the experts.
Yeah.
With this conversation.
No, we're not.
No. Oh.
Yeah. No, we're not.
Oregon played Clemson, team that has won a couple of national championships and knows how to do it.
That'd be fun.
I think Oregon's going to beat Texas, or not Oregon, Clemson.
I don't. I think we're gonna. I do think we're gonna get an upset, and I think it's going to be Tennessee over those frauds from Columbus.
I don't think that's going to be it at all.
Which one do you have?
I don't think SMU. The fun one would be Notre Dame for me. Like Notre Dame
falling to Indiana.
Yeah, beating Indiana, Indiana beating Notre Dame.
Okay.
Yeah. That would be the fun one. Yeah. You said falling to Indiana. Yes.
Yeah, falling to Indiana. Yeah.
Correct. It took me a minute for it to process.
Falling to Indiana. No. Beating them. Indiana beating them. All right. Yeah. We got the Gauntlet next, and we are going to start our Gauntlet playoffs. So, up first, Kyle, who not only beat us last year, but then returned for the playoffs and won again. Kyle has been our arch nemesis. We're going to check in on him next here on 101 ESPN.
warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
407, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. So Marsh came up with this idea last year, and he's brought it back. It's the Gauntlet playoffs. So anybody that won a trophy in that given year has an opportunity to come back and win another one for the playoffs. Marsh, though, in his infinite wisdom, decided to also bring back Kyle.
Yes.
Who won last year, not only a trophy, but he won the playoffs. So we have never beaten Kyle, correct?
What? I don't believe so.
And you lined his ass up week 1. Like, I don't...
He's got to defend his title.
I mean, man, you didn't get us the Citadel. You brought in, Alabama week 1. Okay.
Yeah, we're LSU in week 1.
Sure.
Never can win.
All right. Kyle, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Well, not too good because I'm talking to you right now, and you've crushed us every single chance that you've gotten.
Well, you guys are Citadel.
We are. We're the Citadel.
Oh, wow.
So you're warming up. Wow. You're warming up with an easy dub. All right, Kyle. So Marsh is going to explain the playoff rules again for us.
All right. So much like last year, typically you choose one of us, and then we spin the wheel, and then whatever category it lands on, you have to answer those questions. However, in the playoff, you can decide to pick your category, and then we will spin the random wheel to see which contestant, which one of us you will take on. However, each round, if you do win, you then have to stick with said, category or host, whichever one that you so pick. So, which route you going with today?
Yeah. So if you choose the category today and you win, you're going to stick with the category
throughout.
Yeah, but you'd choose, like if you choose hockey today, Kyle, you would choose something else this next time, but it just wouldn't be one of us.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense, Kyle?
Yeah, so I can't choose the same category twice, correct?
Correct.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But you do need to decide.
You can choose the category each time if he wins.
Yes.
There you go.
You do need to decide whether or not you want to choose your opponent or the category.
All right. I'll do the opponent.
Okay. So, who would you like to choose?
I'll go with CD this week.
This week, huh?
Oh, wow. That was
I didn't even mean it like that time. That did sound bad.
You just ooze confidence, Kyle. Carey Davis.
Good luck, Kyle.
Hey, you too, buddy.
All right, so
go
Carey.
Illini.
He said go Illini. He said fire up. He said fire up Illini. All right, so Carey's going to make his way into the cone of silence. That means, Kyle, you're going to tell Marsh to spin that wheel to find out what category you get.
Yeah. All right, spin that wheel, Marsh.
Kyle, are you the teacher?
Yes, sir, I am. Random
right.
got me. I got a geography round last year.
Okay.
It's the playoffs. It's football.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
okay.
That may be rough.
No, you never know. Carey gets a little confused with some of these dates and years, so we'll see. But as you know, Kyle, you're going to get 4 football questions. Carey's going to receive, thank you, the same 4 football questions. If you ask for the options, those questions are worth 1 point. If you don't and you get the question right, well, those questions are worth 2 points. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Question 1. The Lions' only loss of the season was to which opponent?
Oh, let's see. I think it was March's Vikings. Oh, man. Yeah, let's go Vikings. Final answer.
Question number 2. Aside from losing to the Lions, the only other game the Vikings have lost so far this season was to which team?
No, that didn't help me on the first question. The only other team the Vikings have lost besides the Lions, you said?
Yes.
I don't want to ask this for the options because I know Carey will get it because you guys are talking Vikings, Falcons every day.
Yeah. One positive, one negative.
Oh, I know they played, I think they played, well, that might have been the preseason. I don't want to get the options. Yeah, give me the options. I have to.
Options are the Green Bay Packers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or the Los Angeles Rams.
I thought it was the Eagles for some reason. Rams, and I'm sorry, what were the other two?
So we have Packers, Bucks, and Rams.
Well, the best out of them are the Packers, so I'll go Packers. Final answer.
All right, Kyle. Question 3. Name the 2 teams still undefeated at home this season. Name the 2 teams.
In the NFL?
Yes.
2 undefeated teams at home. All right, so we got the Bucks are good. The Lions are good. They get beat at home. At home. All right, I'm going to go with... No, I need the options.
All right. Is it the Chiefs and the Bills, the Lions and the Vikings, or the Vikings and the Chiefs?
I will go... You said Chiefs and Bills was one?
Yep.
I'm going to go... Yeah, Chiefs and Bills.
Final answer?
Yep, final answer.
Question number 4. Which team is currently on the longest active losing streak in the NFL, having lost their last 9 games?
That was the last time the Panthers won. Man, why couldn't you guys do college?
Sorry.
No, that's what I watch is college. 9 games, so we got the Panthers. They're not that great. I want to say them, but I feel like they just won a game that they shouldn't have. Yeah, they beat the Texans, I think. I'll go with Jaguars.
Final answer?
Yeah, final answer.
All right.
All right, Carey's going to come in from the cone of silence here. Kyle, how you feeling?
No, I think he's got the Lunchable he's got to worry about.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Whoa. Oh, we got a little Dawson's Creek playing in the background here. As Carey was in the snake pit. Or not the snake pit, excuse me. He was in the cone of silence.
We're always in the snake pit.
Yeah.
Keeping tabs on
The
them.
snake pit's always in us.
Yes, they
You know
are.
what I mean, Marsh?
Whoa, absolutely.
Carey,
Hey, how goes it?
your category today is football.
Hey, all right.
Are you ready?
Are you ready? I'm ready.
Question 1. The Lions' only loss of the season was to which opponent?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, final answer.
Question number 2. Aside from losing to the Lions, the only other game the Vikings have lost so far this season was to which team?
Ooh, they almost lost to the Packers. Who did the Vikings lose to? They almost lost to the Cardinals, but they didn't. Aside from the Lions, have they played the Lions twice? Oh, this is a tricky. Tricky. Give me the options.
Options are the Green Bay Packers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or the Los Angeles Rams.
Oh, was it the Bucks as well? I'm drawing a blank. You said the Bucks, the Rams, or the Packers?
Correct.
I don't think the Packers beat them. I know the Packers, they lost to them. Give me the Buccaneers as well. The final answer.
All right, Carey, name the 2 teams still undefeated at home this season.
Well, it's not the Lions. What are the 2 teams that are undefeated?
Correct.
All right, now you got to give me a second. I got to think of the Bills lost. Where? Oh my God, this is gonna take too long, and it's ridiculous. It's gonna take too long, fellas. Gonna take too long. It's not the Lions. Is it the Chiefs? Chiefs lost. I'm going to say the Chiefs and the options, please.
Chiefs and Bills, Lions and Vikings, or Vikings and Chiefs?
Oh, it's not the Lions because they lost at home to the Bucks. So you said Chiefs and Bills or Chiefs and Vikings? I can't remember who the hell the Vikings lost to. Oh, shoot. Let's go Chiefs because, the Chiefs lost on the road to the Bills. Let's go Chiefs, and the Bills just lost in Los Angeles. Can't remember the other team they lost to. Chiefs and Bills, final answer.
Question number 4. Which team is currently on the longest active losing streak in the NFL, having lost their last 9 games?
Ooh. Jeez Louise, these are some very difficult questions here. One would think the Raiders. I don't think it would be the Jaguars. Is it the Giants? Panthers have won a few, so they're not there. I'm going to go bottom of the division. Raiders. Titans stink. Jaguars are worse. I want to say the Raiders. I feel like they haven't pretty much won since they beat the Ravens earlier, but that doesn't feel right. This is ridiculous. Raiders. Giants. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm still thinking.
It's the longest gauntlet ever.
It is. I was wondering why he was taking so long, but I get it now. It's not the Falcons, because they've only lost 4. It's not the Saints. NFC West, no. NFC South, no. NFC North, no. They're all good. NFC East, Giants, no. AFC South, Texans, AFC East. Patriots? No.
10.
Raiders.
9.
Is what I'm going to...
7. 6.
Raiders, final answer. Whew, that took a while.
Wow.
And I feel like it's wrong.
All right, let's go over these. Aside from losing to the Lions, the only other game the Vikings have lost so far this season was to which team? Kyle, you said the Packers. CD, you said the Bucks. Marshy, of course, it was on that Thursday night against
the Los Angeles Rams.
Los Angeles Rams. They lost to the Rams in L.A.
The Packers?
On a Thursday night.
What team is that?
The Vikings.
The Vikings.
Gosh,
yes. 0-0. Name the 2 teams still undefeated at home this season. Kyle, you went with the Chiefs and the Bills. Carey, you went with the Chiefs and the Bills. Correct answer is
the Chiefs and the Bills.
Both of you needed the options for that one. So we've got a 1-1 tie. The Lions' only loss of the season was to which opponent? Kyle, you said the Vikings without the options. Carey, you said the Bucks without the options. Of course, it is the
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home. So Carey's got a 2-point lead. 3-1 over Kyle. Comes down to this. Which team is currently on the longest active losing streak in the National Football League, having lost their last 9 games? After 42 minutes, Carey decided to go with the Las Vegas Raiders. Kyle went with the Jaguars. So if it's the Jaguars, we're heading to a walk-off.
Can we have the options or no?
No.
Okay.
If it's the Raiders or any other team in the National Football League other than the Jaguars, well, then Carey wins. Kyle.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose.
Not today.
Kyle, I know you said you watch college football mostly. Unfortunately, the Jaguars just won.
Yeah.
They won on Sunday against the Titans.
I had to look it up after I answered.
That's
and right
okay.
when I saw it, they lost like 49 in a row, it looked like, before that.
It felt like it. Yeah, Jaguar fans, I don't even think they count that as a win last week. It is the Raiders.
Yeah.
The Raiders have dropped 9 straight.
They haven't won since they beat
They'll
the Ravens.
snap that on Monday, though. So, Kyle, It took CD and it took football and it took 42 minutes. But the fast lane finally got one on the board. You're still up big, though. Nice job, Kyle.
I appreciate it. Can we do another one and I take an hour?
Unfortunately, you had lost after the first question, but
yeah, I know.
Yeah, we would have sped CD up a little bit if had it mattered. But Kyle, thanks, man. You've been a lot of fun. We appreciate you. Congrats on the previous wins, but we'll have you try again in 2025.
I appreciate it. If I'm going to lose, I want to lose to an Illini player. So there you go.
Thank you.
Good man.
I got you.
Nice.
Good job.
Fire up Illini. I got you guys. Yeah.
If you have I mentioned I'm an Illinois fan? I don't know if I said that.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle. We'll see you, buddy.
All right, have a good one.
You too. Thanks. Nice job, Carey. Carey Davis. Nice job, man. Nice job. It wasn't pretty.
It wasn't.
It was a Pittsburgh Steeler victory. That's for sure. Part one of the Sports Six Pack is next. So send in your questions. Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9656. Sports Six Pack next.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center. Suffering from ED or PE? Your first treatment is free at ParamountMen'sMedical.com.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN, a very quick part one of the Sports Six-Pack. Marsh, go.
Question number 1.
All right, from the 314, is it a better option to have Nolan Gorman or Jordan Walker play third base next year? I know both came up as third baseman, but would moving Jordan Walker back to his natural position maybe help him on the offensive side?
Nolan Gorman.
I think Nolan Gorman too, yeah.
Who's going to play right field? Who's
Lars Nootbaar.
Who's going to play left field?
Brandon Donovan.
Who's going to play second?
Brandon Donovan.
Who's going to be...
Okay, so no. Brandon Donovan at second. Lars in right.
The left.
Lars
you
in right.
You saying if Jordan is at third base?
Yeah, I don't want Jordan Walker anywhere near the outfield.
So Alec Burleson is playing left field?
Alec Burleson left.
I'm okay.
Yep. And then Jordan Walker's your DH, and then he can really concentrate on.
Oh, you got him DH, and you got Nolan Gorman playing third still? Yeah. I pass on that.
Pass on what?
I'll pass on that.
On
Jordan Walker. He's going to be right fielder.
How come?
Because that's where they've been playing him at and practicing. That's what he's been working on, Anthony.
Yeah, but we've gone over this, man.
Anthony, you know.
The Milwaukee Bucks can put me at point guard. I mean, I'm good at it, you know?
Were you once a shooting guard?
No.
Well, then you probably ain't got a chance.
I'm just saying. Either way, whether I'm playing point guard for the Milwaukee Bucks or Jordan Walker's in right field, ain't going to be pretty.
I think you're not giving yourself enough credit.
Thank you. You could have gone the other way in that. And you went the route of being complimentary and uplifting. Nice job. Thank you. After I put down Jordan Walker. An absolute disgusting form of disrespect that I had for Jordan Walker. I just don't think he's an outfielder.
He's not.
Or an infielder.
Well, he has RF next to his.
He's got a good arm, though.
He's got a great arm.
So third base would make more sense.
You still got to move at third base.
If he can stab at the ball, yeah.
And he's like 6'8". Who can bend all the way down and get those ground balls?
Troy Gloss. He's a big guy.
Yeah. I think he was a, how do I put this? Defender. Good defender.
Troy Gloss?
Yeah.
No, okay.
I don't know what you...
He's a good defender.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know where you're going with that.
Well, he could play defense is what I'm saying.
Like
don't make me say it. I've already been disrespectful. I've already been disrespectful.
I thought you were throwing shade at the old former Cardinals third baseman.
Not one bit.
Gotcha. You're just
throwing shade. Yep, there we go.
Question number 2.
636 wants to know Helsley and Arenado to the Angels for a boatload of prospects. Who says no?
The Angels.
Yeah, I don't want the Angels pitching prospects, considering they really have struggled in that regard. Getting a little better of late. They've got a couple of guys that are interesting, but no, I'm good. No, thank you.
Hey.
I don't want Helsley packaged up with anybody.
You want them all to yourself.
I'm okay with Arenado in a salary dump. I don't think attaching him with Helsley is smart in any way, shape, or form.
Well, you don't have to worry about it because the Cardinals are going to hang on to Ryan Helsley.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Valid point there.
Let him walk in free agency. That's smart.
Mm-hmm.
Or watch him get hurt in May, and then you can't trade him at the deadline.
Come on, guy. But when he comes back, though, it'll be like
making a trade. Absolutely. Yeah, good point.
God.
Yeah.
Question number 3.
From 1-800-HAM-SAUCED, if Jim Montgomery wins a cup this year, does that put a damper on Chiefs' legacy?
Not one bit. Chief will always be.
Not at all.
Always be the first Stanley Cup winning head coach for your St. Louis Blues. And to have done so with a team that, as we all know, was struggling a little bit during the season. No, it will never ruin Chiefs' legacy. Not one bit.
I agree. Completely. I think it's just how things work out, man. Sometimes we talked about it earlier, a new voice, a new sound, somebody saying the same things. It just changes it.
Let's continue our Sports Six Pack. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. So if you've got any more questions for us, we will wrap up part 2 of the Sports Six Pack here on 101 ESPN. So again, Sports Six Pack part 2 coming up next. Get those questions in to the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. So the holidays are here, and we have the perfect gift idea for your family. It's called Sound Story. Sound Story is an hour-long interview with your mom or dad in which they could tell their life stories, making sure that you and your children will have these memories saved forever. And now, new in 2024, for this holiday season, Sound Story is offering the option of a video interview to make sure both the stories and the images are preserved forever. It's a gift that you're never going to regret giving. It's also a gift that everyone in your family is going to love. And this time of year, when people start thinking about what to get their family members for the holidays, why don't you gift something that everybody can enjoy and everybody can appreciate? Just go to mysoundstory.com, and when you enter the promo code ESPN, you're going to get a 10% off holiday gift card for your Sound Story. So again, go to mysoundstory.com, use that promo code ESPN at mysoundstory.com, and you will get the 10% off that holiday gift card from Sound Story. Give the perfect gift this holiday season.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Lundoff Chevrolet and Johnny Lundoff Autoplex. The Blues took down the Vancouver Canucks last night in overtime, 4-3 the final. Dylan Holloway with the game-winning goal. The Blues will take on the Sharks tomorrow. You can listen to that right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. We're continuing our Sports Six-Pack, so get your questions into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Part 2 of the Six-Pack coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center. Suffering from ED or PE? Your first treatment is free at ParamountMen'sMedical.com.
All right, we continue our Sports Six-Pack. 314-399-9646 is Air Comfort Service text line. Marsh, go.
Question number 4.
From the 314, I'm going to the Winter Classic. What are the must-hit Chicago foods?
Well, you're from Chicago.
Gotta go
Portillo's.
Portillo's, Lou Malnati's.
Lou Malnati, yeah. Any of the pizza joints down in Chicago, downtown's going to be good. What?
Nah, I said that.
Oh, you said that.
I said that. I said that.
I mean, it's more like lasagna.
I said that.
I mean, I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna keep this.
Nah, say it.
I'm gonna keep this
I want to
nice
hear
and
it,
respectful.
and so does St. Louis. We want to hear it, Anthony.
Lou Malnati's solid choice for pizza. Willie says Portillo's meh. Willie, you and I no longer friends. I considered you a brother at one point, not anymore. And if you say Al's beef over Portillo's, then I'm really going to be pissed. What other joints there?
You got Bird's Nest.
I can't remember.
I mean, any steak joint there is
I went
phenomenal.
to a restaurant one time that was so amazing. I cannot remember the name of it for the life of me. But it was darn good.
Willie says, I mean, it's a hot dog. No. We're talking about Italian beef from Portillo's.
We got a bunch of people saying the Wiener Circle. Is that a place in Chicago?
It is. It's in a back alley.
Steer clear of that.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. What's it called? It's the old place with the knights and medieval times.
Medieval times.
I've been there. Yeah.
Welcome to medieval times. I just think of the cable guy. Willie says, what am I thinking of? It's Portillo's, right? Yeah, they've got hot dogs there, but
I think it was called the Purple Pig.
Okay.
It was.
Yeah.
Delightful.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anthony, you're from Chicago, or kinda?
Yeah, now he is.
I feel like you would know more places.
He knows everything. When you spend that much time between cities, Detroit, Chicago, New York.
I gotta be honest. And when I was there, I was young, so it's not like I was eating out a lot.
Yeah, you've been so many places.
Yeah.
You've lived San Jose. You've lived in so many cities.
Florida, New York.
Yeah.
Obviously St. Louis.
St. Louis. Yeah. Somebody said from the Snake Pit that don't like Chicago-style pizza. It's too saucy. I actually love sauce. I love the sauce.
What? Do you?
Yeah, I do. I love the sauce.
You love the Chicago-style pizza?
Well, my favorite style is actually New York. New York is my favorite style.
What's the difference? They just got the long...
Like flat, big, floppy. Yeah, pizza from New York.
Do you like old style?
No, I don't. The beer? No. No, thank you.
I'm also going to the Winter Classic, and I hope that they don't just have, like, any beer that's not Anheuser-Busch products. Which they
no, you'll be fine.
You sure?
Yeah.
I don't have to drink, like, Coors or
Yeah, she might.
Or what's the other one that I don't really care
That's
for?
probably Old Style.
Oh, yeah, Old Style. That's kind of a given. What's the other one?
Miller.
Yeah, Miller's the one.
the worst.
Yeah, a Miller fan?
No. I mean, my
What's your
AB
favorite
products.
beer?
Honestly, it's probably Budweiser. Like, if we're just talking about...
Like a Bud Heavy?
Yeah. Ain't nothing heavy about it, baby.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You're talking about, like, out of... We're not talking about craft beers or anything like that. You're just talking about, your domestic beers. Yeah, Bud Heavy.
Yeah.
That's the best tasting beer.
Give me a Busch Light.
No.
Bring me back to my early 20s.
Busch. No, thank you.
Remember that the commercial?
Busch.
Yeah.
You don't drink a Budweiser?
Nice Ultra.
Yeah, I drink a Michelob Ultra.
Yeah.
I'll drink a Blue Moon.
Big Golden Light.
So you have a Blue Moon, but you want to have a Budweiser?
Yeah, no.
Man. All right.
Doesn't do it for me.
Okay.
Blue Moon's good.
Yeah.
Sit on a patio.
No, it's solid, yeah. Summertime drink, that's good. Yeah. I'm not a beer snob. I'll try different things. Yeah, somebody DLW says Goose Island.
Yeah, Goose Island IPA.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Kona Big Wave.
Uh-huh. The Bolton Eye rules. Jump on Cable Guy. Did you see Cable Guy?
Yes.
Talking about the medieval times scene.
I've seen it.
You didn't have forks, but you have Pepsi? Anyways. All right.
Question number 5.
I feel like I didn't help you there at all.
From the 314, do you feel a must-win tomorrow for the Blues to keep momentum going?
Kyle just killed it in the snake pit, by the way. Absolutely killed it.
You
absolutely killed it.
Watch your mouth.
Kyle is right.
I tried. You wouldn't do it. So
Kyle,
you don't get to mention Kyle. You don't get to mention Kyle in the snake pit because you didn't do it yourself.
Kyle,
you don't get to mention.
You
Kyle.
and I have had issues before.
Kyle Joseph,
specifically over Auburn.
You, sir.
I think that's Kyle
Joseph.
That was just on the Gauntlet.
Oh, really?
I think it was.
Is that you, Kyle?
Either way, Kyle.
You speak now, Kyle.
I'm with you.
You said what Anthony was afraid to say.
I wasn't afraid to say it. I've said it before.
Afraid to say it.
Just didn't want to go down that alleyway.
You won't say it.
I would if I felt that way. I don't feel that way.
I don't either.
Why?
I don't either.
True St. Louis.
Why?
I don't know
It's
what's
good.
wrong with you.
Why don't you feel that way?
I don't feel that way. Because I've had the best.
You're dogging on Chicago-style pizza.
It's too much sauce. It's deep dish. You bite into it, you're eating sauce. If I want to eat sauce, I'll just open up a can of ragu and pour it down my throat.
It's a good combination.
Nah, it's terrible. What are we doing with all this damn sauce?
It's solid.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's everywhere.
At least the cheese is fresh.
What are you?
Or at least tastes fresh.
What cheese doesn't taste fresh, Anthony?
Certain cheeses that are combined together for no damn reason.
Must win for the Blues?
Yep. First time I had it, I looked at everybody. I swear to God, I looked at everybody and I go, hey, something's wrong here. Everybody's like, what? It's amazing.
You thought you had some bad cheese?
I thought I had bad cheese. They're like, oh, you don't like the cracker. No, it's got nothing to do with that. It's got everything to do with the nasty-ass cheese.
You're ridiculous.
You stop it.
Thank you.
Stop it.
Rhythm
Maker, don't add on. Yeah. You don't add on.
I buy that cheese from the grocery store, and sometimes I just eat it by itself. It's got the, it's a little squiggly, kind of looks like Medusa's hair.
Yeah.
Just
there you go.
Grab it in a ball and eat it.
There you go. Absolutely.
Shame on you, Anthony.
Oh, it's the cracker that you don't. No.
It's all of it.
All right, we're going to talk to that Fleabag Jamie Rivers. We're going to talk to Jamie Rivers next. He demanded to be on the show for once, and we're going to have him on. We'll talk a little Blues hockey with Jamie next on 101 ESPN.
I think it's always good in overtime not to force things, so I took it back a little bit, gave it to Tomer. He sat behind the net, just tried to build some speed. I saw they were on a change, so I knew I could, beat the guy flat-footed there. And going to the net, I think their D thought I was going to pass it, and I think the goalie thought I was going to pass it too. And at first, I thought I was going to pass it as well. So, but then, just when you're in tight, try and get it up, and I was fortunate for that one to go in. It's never a bad play to take the puck to the net. It wasn't a clear-cut 2-on-1, so I don't want to force anything, but I think as soon as I got a step on the one guy, I was like, I'm just going to take it to the net no matter what, see what happens.
Dylan Holloway following last night's game winner in overtime over the Vancouver Canucks. It's the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. And joining us via the Thompson and Collier phone line is our guy, Jamie Rivers. What's up, Jamie?
Not much, boys. How we doing?
Well, we're doing really well. I know you're doing great, too, because you had Dylan Holloway, of course, in our Light the Lamp game. First question for you.
I had him. What the hell?
Oh, that's right, Jamie. I tried to give him Dylan Holloway earlier, too. You know what's throwing me off? Because, Jamie, you said yesterday, he's like, I wanted him. That's right. My bad. Either way, first question for you. Is Dylan Holloway turning out to be the greatest Blue of all time?
You know what, Anthony? It's a little premature, but I think you're right.
Thank you.
This
guy's a stud, Jamie.
He's turning out to be an unbelievable surprise. I think that most of the hockey world, apart from probably Doug Armstrong, believe Dylan Holloway to be not necessarily the throw-in in that, but maybe not the main target in those offer sheets. I think Broberg was the main target, and then Doug Armstrong said, they got another guy here who's got a lot of talent, a lot of speed, a very promising future. Let's see what he's got. And since the coaching change, Dylan Holloway is a man amongst boys. I mean, watching this guy play, it's fun. I mean, he's strong, he's fast, he's talented, he's tenacious. Last night, how much I enjoy watching, Cale Makar and Quinn Hughes and guys like that walk the blue line so well. They're so evasive. They're hard to hit. You can't get the puck from them. Well, last night, watching Dylan Holloway cover Quinn Hughes, it was unreal. He was in his face the whole night. Quinn Hughes could not create any separation. And Dylan Holloway, by the way, he's supposed to be an offensive player. And here he is playing sound defensive hockey, blocking shots. I mean, he's doing everything that a winning hockey player should do. And, he looks great.
Jamie, we were talking about the entire game and how the Blues have been playing. Can people start to get off Jordan Kyrou a little bit? He's leading the team. He's tied for the team lead in assists and in goals, and he's leading the team in points. Are fans willing to finally give him his just due? Or should they be?
Are fans still pissing and moaning?
Well, they always are. But they haven't been as much lately, but it feels like he doesn't get the credit that he's deserved for what he's been doing thus far this season.
Yeah. So I think that the tale of two different seasons for Jordan Kyrou. I think that the beginning of this season is one version, and then I think that since Jim Montgomery's taken over, it's a different version. And since Jim Montgomery's taken over, Jordan Kyrou has been fantastic. I mean, he's been great. He's scoring goals, getting points. He's not a liability defensively. He's back-checking. He's hustling. He's getting to the front of the net. I mean, this is the version of Jordan Kyrou that you want.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, he has been outstanding. You said it a couple of weeks ago. Really, it's Jim Montgomery that has gotten the best out of Jordan Kyrou. But give credit to Jordan Kyrou, man. He has upped his game on both ends of the ice. Jamie, I thought that was one of the better wins last night, just given the situation. We talked to you yesterday. You're traveling for 2 weeks. That's your last game. It would have been very easy for the Blues to take a deep breath and say, well, okay, we're done here, and then we get the Sharks. Let's just finish out this road trip. And that's not what they did. They played with they showed a lot of grit. How much can we attribute to that to Jim Montgomery?
Well, a lot. I think that since he's come on board, he's just tried to create that compete mentality, much like Craig Berube did when he first came in. You're basically picking up a damaged team, that doesn't believe in themselves. Maybe the confidence isn't as high as it could be. And when you're playing that way, sometimes the intensity isn't there or the compete level can leak away a little bit. Monty's tried to put those pieces back together as much as possible. And I think that you're seeing right now is obviously the best version of the Blues so far this year, but you're seeing those complete games. You're not seeing that one period that is, a miss, that one period where they don't play hard, or that one period where they give up 3 goals and then the game's out of reach. Like, you're just not seeing that right now.
Jamie, is this team, are they a real playoff potential, a team that can potentially make the playoffs, the way that they're playing right now?
Well, I think you have to look at it that way, Carey. I think they're 2 points out of a playoff spot right now. They're one of the hottest teams in the NHL. And you got the San Jose Sharks. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a gut check tomorrow. But it is a game that you should win. But it's in a tough situation, so I'm not going to go ahead and cash my chips before the actual result. But then you've got some winnable games coming up as well. The Rangers are stumbling. You've got the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning. That's going to be a test for you. But I don't see any reason at this point, with the way I'm watching this team play, that they cannot be a playoff team.
Jamie Rivers joins us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. What other what, you got something?
I was just going to ask him what his take was on St. Louis style pizza.
Oh, no, we'll get to that later. 6 o'clock. Jamie, what other aspects of this team are you picking up on that we aren't? So we could see Dylan Holloway's impact, Jordan Kyrou's impact. What other player has quietly played well that has caught your attention?
Well, there's 2. One, not so quietly, is Robert Thomas. I think that we'll call it, the snub from Team Canada. And I think since that moment, he has played the game with a big old chip on his shoulder, which I love from my star players. I like them a little pissed off, wanting to show the world a little something. And that's what he's been doing. And I think that if there's one injury at all on that Team Canada, I think Robert Thomas is the next name that gets put on that team. And I think that he's proving why he should be. And another guy that just continues to quietly go about his business and just play solid is Ryan Suter. I watched this grizzled old vet, and I absolutely love the way he plays. It's not flashy, but if you ever just ISO cam him and just watch him, he is so grumpy and so dirty out there that it brings a small tear to my eye when I watch him playing that way. But it's contagious, though, guys. Like, look at the last couple of years in front of the Blues net. It's been a bit of a free-for-all. This year, Ryan Suter comes in and starts to take out the trash immediately with cross-checks, forearms, elbows, you name it. And everybody now, it's like a pack mentality. Now nobody's allowed to stand near the blue paint. Everybody's hitting somebody. And look at the difference, too. So, it's subtle things like that aren't really noticeable to you. But when you see it happen over and over again from a veteran guy, it becomes a bit of a moment where it's a learning moment for the younger guys to follow what the veteran guy's doing.
Carey, Marsh, I think we should tell him.
Do what? What are we telling him?
Jamie, we've been forced to vacate our office. The video department got a much bigger office. We are now no longer where we were before.
Now, Jamie, before you respond to that, Anthony has been looking at this the wrong way. He's been, a little frustrated with the tightness of the office. I personally think it's an opportunity for us to bond. We are all in arm's reach of one another. We can reach out and touch each other. Yeah. You don't agree? Like, listen, one more thing. Your spot as of now has 0 leg space.
Jamie, if you were to
I'm going to snap.
Jamie,
I will snap tomorrow. When I walk in tomorrow, I will throw down.
Yeah. So
you tell Tommy. Hell is coming.
Already did. I literally looked at Tommy Madden, our boss. I said, "Do you know who's going to be back tomorrow?" So, Jamie, you know the landscape here. What would you describe? What would you think would be the worst office in the building?
Oh, that one right in the hallway there.
That's where we're at.
Yeah, the broom closet.
The broom closet. That's where we're at. So the one
Why
where.
the hell does the video department need more of our office? Don't they have enough? They have a whole damn Hollywood set in that.
Well, the Riz Show has got to do more videos, so.
I'm taking somebody else's office. You watch tomorrow. I'm bringing all my stuff and I'm just taking someone's office.
So I said we should just post up in one of the conference rooms. Because those are like important big time client meeting type thing. We just go in there. Because people don't care until it impacts them.
I might take my bag and put it right on Tommy's desk and sit across from him. I'm in that chair.
No pants.
Let's see how long this lasts.
So just letting you know, when you come in,
yeah,
the office is no longer there. We're in that broom closet right
neither
next.
is your stuff.
Right next to the hall. Yep. So.
All my stuff got moved too. Oh, I'm thrilled.
You did have, by the way, some leftover lunch from 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, sorry about that.
All right, Jamie, we'll see you
I
tomorrow.
did clean the fridge last time, so I did a little bit of that.
You stepped up.
Yeah,
you absolutely did. Yep.
That fridge was terrible.
It was, and Jamie stepped up.
I'm pissed. You guys have me pissed off.
Hey, get a good night's sleep. Stretch out, because you won't be able to do so when you get in the office tomorrow.
Oh, I'll be fine. I'll be at Tommy's office with him.
There you go. See you tomorrow, buddy.
See you guys.
Jamie Rivers, everybody. The Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. All right, we'll do you want to do the mic drops here, Marsh, or you want to do a little Stalter stack up?
Oh, let's get to the stack up.
All right. Let's see where Carey has the unbelievable Chiefs ranked, probably unranked. Next on 101 ESPN. Hey, if you're looking for that dream home, but you don't know if you can afford it based on maybe some financial situations, pick up the phone and either call or text my guy Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. That number is 314-324-4440. You can also Google the Bagel loan to get that number. Jamie just went through the process of securing a loan for his dream home, and he worked with Stewie one-on-one, and Stewie got him to that closing table in less than 2 weeks. And Jamie said it was the easiest process that he's ever been involved in. Way back in the day when I was wondering about refinancing our home, I called around and said, hey, do you waive the closing costs? Do you waive the lender fees? And everybody I talked to was like, no, nobody does that. Stewie does. If you qualify for the Bagel loan, if you're borrowing over $200,000 and you're going to qualify for that Bagel loan, no closing costs, no lender fees. So whether you want to refi, whether you want to buy that dream home, whether you want to take out some money for the holidays because, you want to buy somebody an extra special gift or whatever, you want to access some of the money that you have, great. Call Stewie, text him day or night. That's his personal cell phone number that I handed out earlier. Again, Google the Bagel loan, but pick up the phone and see what he can do for you. He's Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. Again, Google the Bagel loan.
NMLS number 226715.
Oh, Sean McVay has the best playbook. Oh.
Stalter on the fumble.
Oh, my God. Anthony.
You like that? You like that?
You're wrong on this one, Anthony.
Anthony, who cares what you think?
On stacks, on stacks, on stacks.
507, your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Time for the Stalter Stackup / the Fast Lane Stackup. Always a fun time. Top 10 teams in the NFL after 14 weeks. Let's go.
Number 10.
The rightful owners of the NFC South, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You got them at 10?
Yeah. Baker, toughness, grit. Better overall team than everybody in that division.
Interesting.
Number one team in the NFC South. Buccaneers.
Okay.
Exactly. Thank you.
I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Bucs beat them in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, no, probably not. Probably not going to happen.
I don't know if they play.
Oh. Yeah, probably not. I got the Seahawks. I think, the big win this weekend, I think that they're obviously leading their division. To me, they had a little bit of a lull, mid-season. I think they've started to figure some things out. So I think they'll win that division. And I know the Rams are starting to pick things up. 49ers, no thank you. They got too many injuries, dealing with too much. So I got the Seahawks here.
I believe I had the Denver Broncos at 10 last week, and I'm going to keep them at 10 due to them being on a bye. So they don't move up, they don't move down. So I'm keeping Denver at number 10.
Number 9.
Well, the Chargers did nothing with their gift win 2 weeks ago. They go to Kansas City and fall to the Chiefs. They are the latest victim. With the Buccaneers winning, I bounce the Chargers out of the top 10. Give me them Denver Broncos here at number 9. Bo Nix playing incredibly well. That defense, I think, is legit despite Jameis Winston doing some damage against them. Give me the Broncos, number 9.
I still got the Commanders here. I think no, I'm not. I think they are a team that is, still they're number 7 in the playoffs right now. If the playoffs were to start today, still got an opportunity to move up just a little bit. So I got them. It's hard for me to have the Broncos are 7 as well, but just doesn't feel the same.
I have the Chargers at number 9. I'm not going to kick them out. They played the Chiefs. They lost on a field goal that doinked off the upright and still went through. They didn't have Lad McConkey. So, I don't think that is exactly the team that we will see or who they've been. So I got the Chargers at number 9.
Number 8.
Packers gave the Lions everything they could handle. I think this is a good team, not a great team. I think they're firmly behind some of the other teams on this list that I have higher than them, but I do recognize as a solid team. Green Bay at number 8.
I still got the Ravens here. I know that was a tough loss against the Eagles 2 weeks ago. They were off last week. But the Ravens, to me, they're sitting at the 5 seed. They still are a team that you do not want to see come playoff time. They are dangerous. They got a lot of electric players that can make big plays. They figure out some things on the defensive back end, which I think they've started to correct. I still think this is a very dangerous team.
I also have Baltimore at number 8. Derrick Henry just got a haircut. Looks completely different. I think he's locked in. I think they're going to have a strong push towards the end of the year. Baltimore at number 8.
Number 7, thank you.
I didn't know about the haircut, but I love this pick even more then. Ravens at here at number 7. Same deal, especially the haircut aspect of it. This team's going to hang 50 on the Giants this weekend. I got the Ravens 7. Coming off the bye, ticked off for 2 weeks. I would not want to be a New York Giant.
Yeah. For number 7, I got the Packers. Again, they still are a team that I think is a really good football team. They've been doing outstanding. They are, 3rd in their division, but they're behind 2 really, really good teams in the Vikings and the Lions. I like what they're doing with Josh Jacobs. They had a tough loss against the Lions in their last game, but I like the fact that they're running the ball. And Jordan Love is much more healthier than he was to at the beginning of the season. I got the Packers here at number 7.
I'm with you, Carey. I got the Packers at 7 as well. Almost take down the Lions. Josh Jacobs was a menace this past week, and I think they did find their formula of what really works for their team, and it allows Jordan Love to, you get a little play action going. I don't know why teams just don't run the ball more and then play action and just guys are wide open. I don't understand, but it seems like they found their formula, and they're at number 7 for me.
Number Number 6.
Give me the Chris Boswells at number 6 here. Here we go. Pittsburgh Steelers going to the playoffs. I got the Steelers at number 6. Absolutely. You've earned it. Schedule gets tougher, too, by the way. Eagles this week, Ravens next week.
Yeah, for them.
So give me the Steelers at number 6, and I think it's a holding banner. Could be it in the top 5. See what they do over the next 2 weeks.
Give me the Vikings here. The Vikings are a team that has won 6 in a row. They had a scare a couple of weeks ago against Arizona, was able to figure it out, but they got right against Kirky Cousins and those guys last week. So I got the Vikings here. They're the number 2 seed right now in the NFC North. Still with an opportunity to potentially take over the number 1 seed if the Lions have some missteps here.
Anthony, I agree with you. Number 6, a team from Pennsylvania. That would be the Philadelphia Eagles.
Whoa.
That's Philadelphia Eagles. Wow. They have a lot of stuff going on right now internally, which I think can be a disease for a team. And I don't really like the trajectory they're going on. Saquon Barkley is going to have to be that dude, and I think he will be, but, I got him at 6 right now. 5.
This is where I have your Vikings. I don't know if you guys saw the press conference. Raheem Morris said to Minnesota, Merry Christmas early.
I thought Kirk did that.
Kirk did as well.
Gotcha.
Yep. So gift win last week, but I don't count that against the Vikings for beating the Citadel. It's on their schedule, and they beat them up pretty good. Give me the Vikings at number 5.
I got the Bills here. They had a tough loss going out to L.A. last week. Put up a lot of points. Josh Allen scored in every way imaginable.
Yes, he did.
But they were unable to stop the Rams' their offensive prowess. They were driving it up and down the field. Had a blocked punt as well. Just too many things went wrong for the Bills in that game. Josh Allen, not one of them, but unable to get the Rams off the field at time. I think they were like 11 for 15 on third downs. Like, it was, you're going to sustain drives. If you can't get guys off the field, they're going to score a lot of points.
Very true.
Number 5 for me is the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen's awesome. Defense isn't. So when it comes playoff time, who knows what team we're going to get. But Josh Allen, he almost single-handedly won that game last week. So got Buffalo at 5.
Number 4.
I got the Chiefs here. Good teams win. What? Good teams win. Great teams cover.
Look at you.
The Chiefs are a good team right now. Not a great team at 5-8 ATS.
I have the Pittsburgh Steelers here. Had a very good win against the Cleveland Browns over the weekend without George Pickens in the lineup. Few yards less than what Russell has been averaging because Pickens is his number 1 guy. So him being out did have a bit of an impact on the passing game. But that defense, sign me up every day of the week. They're going to play ball. They're going to get after the quarterback. Got some good opportunities coming up against some really good teams here in the next couple of weeks. You mentioned it. You looked at it as a negative. We embrace the adversity, and we go after it against the Eagles this week and the Ravens next week. But we're taking on the Eagles this week and going to get it done.
You just said it was a tougher schedule.
Nah, you said it was like it was a bad thing.
Number 4.
Here we go.
Steelers.
Here we go. Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl.
All right, I got Pittsburgh at number 4.
Number 3.
I agree with Marsh. The Eagles got some issues, which is why they won't be in the top 5 after the Steelers beat them this weekend. But I do have the Eagles 3rd here because they got a lot of talent, no coaching, and they're dysfunctional.
They got coaching.
But they got a lot of talent.
They got coaching.
You're right. Big Fangio's awesome.
I got the Chiefs here. We've seen...
You got the Chiefs higher than I do.
I know, but I couldn't put... they got 1 loss, albeit it should probably be 4, but it's not. So I got the Chiefs here. They are finding ways to win, or teams are finding ways to lose.
Either way.
I honestly think it's more... the latter. Teams are finding ways to lose again. The Chiefs are like, we want to lose. Please beat us. And teams are like, nah, we're good. You can have it this time.
No, they're more like, okay, good, we will. Oh God, we snapped the ball too early.
So I got the Chiefs here, but I don't know how much longer this can last. We've been saying it all year. At some point, one of us is going to be right.
It's a Super Bowl. That's how long it's going to last.
Give me the Minnesota Vikings at number 3.
Whoa,
yeah,
that win did it for you.
It really did. It was a convincing win. I needed to see that. I needed to see it these past.
Yeah.
Calm down now. They were in first place. Now they're not because the Vikings beat them.
Because they lost 4 straight.
5 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson finally back in the end zone twice. Jordan Addison, 3 touchdowns. Aaron Jones hit pay dirt. Blake Cashman, linebacker. Anytime he's in the lineup, Vikings are undefeated 10-0 with Blake Cashman in the lineup.
He needs to play every game.
Brian's son.
All right, whatever.
Brian Cashman. Number 2. I thought you said Brian's song.
No, Brian's son. Yeah, Brian Cashman's son. Bills. Give me the Bills here. I know you're like, but didn't they just lose the Rams? Bad spot. Bad spot for the Bills. Coming off the win against the Niners, they fly cross country. I think they're a prime for the take, and I should have taken them in the pick and pooled that they being the Rams. So they're down here, but the Bills are going to beat the Lions on Sunday, and we're going to have a different viewpoint of the Bills. Give me the Bills second.
They're going to lose. I got the Eagles here. I mean, they are dysfunctional. They have had some things take place all season long. It's been what's the next thing is going to happen. Nick Sirianni was talking to the crowd at one point. Now, A.J. Brown is talking to the media, and it is Brandon Graham also talking to the media. Like, it's dysfunctional. Mm-hmm. They probably won't be here next week because I do believe that the Steelers are going to beat them as well as you do. But right now, they are the number 2 team in the Stalter Stackup.
All right.
Yeah, I got Kansas City. I don't love it, but you know they just keep winning. So what are you going to do about it?
Okay. Number 1.
Lions all say aye. Aye. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. More of your mic drops on the Cardinal rallies and how you feel about them during the winter. That's next on 101 ESPN. Gauntlet on 101 ESPN. Earlier in the show, we talked about the ongoing winter meetings and how exciting they've been. Unless you're a fan of, 25 teams in the Major League Baseball that's not named the Yankees, the Dodgers.
It was 15 teams earlier.
Well, 15 teams have already been eliminated from postseason contention. Only 5 teams have been active. So, you know who you are, 15. We asked, how do you feel about the Cardinals' inactivity in the winter warm-up? Or the winter meetings. You okay with it because you know the expectations, or you see all these guys making headlines, you're like, man, I'm ticked off again. Let's hear from Gabe.
What's up, fellas? Personally, I do like that the Cardinals are not doing anything in the winter meeting because, let's be honest, if they were doing something, they'd probably just go out and get a guy like Rich Hill. It's
Amen.
Probably the most Cardinal move of all time, but at this point, let's just see what we got in the minors with some of these pitchers we got and see what Sonny can do this year. But overall, I like where we're going. I don't want us to make any big moves other than trading Arenado for hopefully a bunch of prospects and possibly Helsley. We'll see what they do there. But, yeah, no, nothing too crazy, and I kind of like where we're at right now.
I agree with Gabe. Couldn't agree more. I'm so sick and tired of the Cardinals going to the store and settling for not even the low bin, like good sales opportunities. Like they're good. They're going for the mid shelf stuff.
Yeah,
I would rather watch young guys.
I would too. I think the only pushback that I would have with Gabe is trading Arenado for a bunch of prospects. I think we've kind of come to that understanding that is not sounding like it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. It's more of a salary dump, which, again, you got to decide what's more important. Is it getting the salary off the books and opening up that spot in the infield for one of your younger players to have an opportunity, or is it, letting them play and figuring things out later on down the line? So whatever the decision is, I'm more comfortable in the direction that the Cardinals have shown us and told us that they're going than I have been in the past couple of years.
Let's hear from Jeff next.
Okay, guys, I'm not sure what I'm more disappointed in. Years past, when I see the big free agent names out there, knowing we could sign them, but we won't, or they wouldn't want to sign here, or this year, where we see big free agent signings and just knowing that we're not even at the table.
Wouldn't you rather know? I mean, it's a good question, but wouldn't you rather know?
Whether or not you're getting...
Yeah, instead of having some false hope or... like believing that they're going to do something.
I think there was never a belief, but there was always hope. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I know. Honestly, it's well said.
You didn't believe it, but you were hopeful that you would be surprised.
Right.
Like you didn't believe that it was going, but there's a bit of hope, like a childish hope energy that you're like, man, but what if?
You asked,
how
you asked
awesome
for that Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Knowing you probably weren't going to get it.
And
but
then in the back of your mind, I hope I get it. Yeah. Now you don't have any hope or belief. You're just like, okay.
Right.
You this is what it is.
Going to the tree. You know you're going to be underwear. It's going to be underwear.
Socks.
Yep.
T-shirts.
All right.
Merry Christmas. Love you, son. Okay.
All right. Yeah. It doesn't feel like it, but okay. Thank you. All right, let's hear from Curtis.
I'm not sure why everybody's so down thinking this is a complete wasted season. Because, I'll be honest, I think the Cardinals woefully underachieved last year, and it won't take much for the guys that are replacing Goldschmidt and Arenado to beat that production, and possibly a little bit of overachievement from anybody puts this team in a better spot than they were this year. And I think the Brewers overachieved big time, so I don't think winning the division's out of the realm of possibility at all. That's why everybody's so gung-ho to get rid of Helsley. Like, they could very easily be a playoff team and need a closer. I don't think they're that far away because I don't think anybody last year thought they could be as bad as they were.
All right. I actually agree with Curtis. Where he loses me is the Helsley thing because, and I get where he's coming from because, like, all right, hey, if we're going to be in the mix in the division, we're going to need Ryan Helsley. But aren't you? Isn't that short-sighted? Yeah. If you can trade Ryan Helsley, who you're not going to bring back. The Cardinals are not going to spend big on a closer. They're just not. Especially one that's 30 years old, that does have some history of injury. they're not going to bring him back. So why would you not trade one of your assets coming off a career year for something that's going to help you potentially over the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah.
Instead, you hold on to him. And what's the best case scenario? You win the division, you get bounced in the first round, right?
Yeah.
There has to be some trade-off here.
I think for me, and I've said this time and time again, for me, the notion that you will not be able to have success if you traded away Helsley is I just don't agree with it. Right? I thought a few years ago when the Brewers traded away Josh Hader, they were going to completely fall apart, and they didn't. They didn't. They still were able to win games and find ways. I don't think they made the playoffs that year. It was 22.
Yeah,
but
that was when the Cardinals.
But they were still a good team, right? They still had a good team, and if
they made, to your point, they made the playoffs the last 2 years.
They made
won
it the last 2 years, right? So for me, it's like, oh, you can't trade away your closer. You can. You can find somebody else that can have that specific role.
Yeah.
We talked about the Yankees. They had a closer that they thought was going to be the closer all year, and then they got to the playoffs. They're like, hey, not the closer anymore. The World Series winner, sorry. Not sorry. I don't care. It's about finding the best player that can get it done in that moment. So for me, having a closer is not as big of a deal as having prospects that can help you in the future, having some players on the current roster that can help you win games, because it doesn't matter if you're not scoring enough runs to be ahead. You're not going to need a closer.
Right.
It's a wasted position. You got to be able to score. You got to be able to play good defense behind them. Like, those things are, in my opinion, and then we can get to the closer to finish the game out. But if I'm losing, the hell do I need a closer for?
Yeah, it's like carrying a massive amount of insurance for something you probably don't need. It probably won't make a difference.
Yeah.
Like, you're just paying the premium on it because it makes you feel better.
Right.
And I understand that viewpoint. I'm not criticizing. I understand the idea of, hey, they may win the division next year. You're going to have the closer. But you can set yourself up for the next 3 to 5 years.
Correct.
Based on a decent trade.
Right.
Now, whether or not they're going to execute that trade, whether or not they're going to pick the right players, whether or not those players are going to develop, that's all still out there, too. There's no guarantee.
Yeah.
But I can guarantee you that Ryan Helsley is not going to be a Cardinal beyond this year. They're not going to pay him.
No.
So now's the time to go. All right, Lloyd's got the last thought on this.
Yeah, definitely did not expect them to be active. I mean, quite frankly, we expected them not to be active at all. I would like just to see some creative moves made, whether that would be dealing an Arenado, dealing a Helsley, doing something to make it appear we're making progress into a rebuild, because that is indeed what this will be, is a rebuild. We can't come out of this with absolutely nothing, but I will be patient enough to wait, about a week to let some of these things come together. Surely we can get something done to make this make a little sense.
There you go. You give it a week.
Give it a week.
We'll
revisit it.
Reevaluate.
Yeah. We're on the Cincinnati.
Yeah, there you go. All right, we are going to play a little game called the Trust Meter, involving the current NFL teams in the playoffs and how much we trust them to make a deep run. That's next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues took down the Vancouver Canucks last night in overtime, 4-3 the final, thanks to Dylan Holloway's game-winning goal in OT. The Blues will take on the Sharks tomorrow. You can listen to that right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Schaefer Door Company 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our full shows there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We're going to play NFL Trust Meter coming up next right here in the Fast Lane. What is our trust level in the current playoff teams in the NFL? I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
All right, trust-o-meter here. Current NFL playoff teams. What do you guys think? 1 to 5 or 1 to 10?
I like 1 to 10.
Done. 1 to 10. The current 7 seed in the AFC is the Denver Broncos. Trust meter, they're going to make a long run, 1 to 10.
Oh, 1.
Okay, Carey hates them.
I don't hate them.
I've been giving a little bit of credit. I'm going to say 3.
I'm going to say 3 as well. Good coaching. Defense is actually pretty good. I don't trust the running game, though. And Bo Nix is a rookie.
A long run would be the AFC Championship game. You all are giving them a 3?
Yeah, out of 10.
A 30% chance to make it to the AFC Championship game?
That's correct.
Yeah. In the AFC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you all never heard of the Kansas City Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Baltimore Ravens?
Nope. We have.
Okay.
Not. All right, the Chargers. Carey.
2.
Okay.
I'm also going to say 3. I don't think they're there just yet. I think they will be in the next few years, but I don't think they have all of the pieces to make a deep run. I like Justin Herbert. I like Harbaugh. But I think they have the same chance as Denver.
I got a 2. Justin Herbert is yet to win a playoff game. I love Justin Herbert.
You think the Broncos got a better chance than the Chargers?
I do. Yeah, their defense is better.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. But either team, like the Chargers, can't run the ball anymore because they don't have J.K. Dobbins. And overall, the talent level just isn't there.
Quarterback play, huh?
Yeah, I think they should let him throw more. But who is he throwing to?
They probably shouldn't let him throw more.
Baltimore Ravens. Where's your trust in them?
They are can I give a half?
Sure.
6.5.
I was going there too. That's the exact number. As soon as you said half, that was the exact number, 6.5. Like, I don't trust their defense at all, but man, they're fun.
They might score 40 points.
Just 48-40 loss.
Yep, possibly.
They're the new Texas Tech of the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 7. We saw them get there last year. They have Derrick Henry.
At home, though. They're hosting.
Yeah, they
still have Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I give them a 7.
They're gonna need a couple of losses from the Bills and the Steelers to move up.
Yeah. Might not happen. Texans, I got them at a solid 4. I don't trust them very much. But they're more talented overall than the Chargers and Broncos.
I got them at about a 3 as well.
Yeah, right.
I'll put them at 4. I think they have a better chance than Denver and the LA Chargers, but not that much, man. Like, what I have not seen enough out of that team this year to make me feel good about them doing anything in the playoffs.
Steelers, I got a 7. Excellent defense, excellent kicker, quarterback that's playing well, and the running game has Carey, to your credit, has taken off because Russ is actually throwing the ball vertically.
I'm going to go 7.5 for the Steelers.
All right.
With the possibility to go ahead of that here shortly.
Sure.
I'm going to say 7.
Okay.
I think they have the same chance as Baltimore.
Buffalo Bills, I got at an 8. I think they're going to beat the Lions this weekend. And we're all going to kind of look at them a little bit differently after the loss of the Rams. Josh Allen can win games on his own, the way that he's playing. Like the way he's playing right now, I think he can't win games on his own. I shouldn't say that.
I think that game said more about the Rams than it did the Buffalo Bills.
I agree with you. Especially like the Rams offense.
Like that Rams team is a good team.
That offense
is
explosive.
And their defense is starting to come around.
Their defense is crap, but the offense.
Said it's coming around.
Kansas City Chiefs, I'll say 10. I'll say I.
Nay.
Okay.
I didn't give my rating for the Bills either.
What do you got?
8.
Okay.
Chiefs, 8.
Okay.
I'll say Bills. Are we saying Super Bowl?
He said long playoff run. That means at least the AFC Championship.
9 for the Bills.
Chiefs.
10 for the Chiefs.
Yep, you've seen it.
The Chiefs, they could be the worst team in the world and find a way to win.
Correct.
They find a way for the other team to lose.
Yeah, it'll probably happen in the playoffs.
Okay.
I hate to say it.
All right, jump into the NFC. We'll move quickly here. Lions, despite the injuries, actually because of the injuries, I'll only say 9.
I got a 9 for them.
Because of the injuries. If they were healthy, I'd say 10.
Yeah.
I'll say 8. 8.
Because of the injuries?
Yeah, and I feel like they'll find a way to lose. Like I
probably going for it on 4th and 25 from their own 25.
Like I take into consideration a team's history and the fact that some teams just can't do it.
Fair.
Maybe they are that team, and maybe it is this year. Like maybe they're the Cubs of 2016, where they looked good in 2015, won a playoff round, but ultimately didn't get to the World Series.
Yeah.
Maybe they're that, but I do think they're a great football team. I feel like they'll find a way to not go to the Super Bowl, but it doesn't mean they'll go on they won't go on a deep playoff run.
Eagles, I got 7.5. Ultra talented, but their coach is a rube, and their players don't like each other.
8.
I'll say 7.
Seattle Seahawks, I got at a solid 4.
That's not bad.
I don't trust them much, but I do recognize that they're a tough team. Their defense is pretty good under McDonald, and that's about all I have to say on them.
I got them at a 4. What'd you say? That's
4. Solid 4.
Give me 5.
Okay.
I got it. Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
I'll say 4.
Bucks, I got a solid 4 on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's why I got a 4. Yeah, 4 for the Bucks.
Yep. They're a gritty ass team.
Yeah.
They're going to play somebody.
They don't have enough to win a championship or make a run.
Like their defense is not good either. But the Buccaneers, they're going to fight you for 4 quarters.
You're going to know you played them.
Yes.
And so come playoff time,
that matters.
It does matter. So you'll know you had a game against them.
Yeah.
I'll say 4 as well.
Marcia, where do you have your Vikings? Where's the old trustometer?
Trustometer. I've seen this story, Anthony, many times.
Yep.
I don't want to say this team feels different. They do feel different.
Oh, he said it.
You just ruined it.
But they also remind me a lot of the 2018 Vikings with Case Keenum and that magic. They went to the NFC Championship game and crushed my soul.
Yeah. I watched that game together.
I'm going to go with a 6. I'm going to go a little over 50%, just because they have been playing well. But ultimately, like as a Vikings fan, you'd be joking if you didn't have that in the back of your brain. Like, when does this all come crashing down?
Sure. And
just completely ruin the rest of my year.
I got 7.5. But based on Marsh's comments, I'm going to go with the Bears this week.
Okay.
No. We need to be on the same page.
Yeah, we need to win.
We need to lock in.
Yeah.
It's going to be the Bears.
I'm going to go with a 7.5 as well. I really like this team.
Yeah.
I think I could see them going into Philadelphia. Hell, I could see them going into Detroit. I mean, they would have faced them 3 times at that point. Yeah. Given the injuries and all that, I like this team a lot. Well coached. Sam Darnold's playing his baguettes off.
Yeah.
Yep.
You like baguettes,
I do.
You?
Yeah. Packers 6.
Packers 6 for me as well.
I trust them more than the Seahawks and the Bucks, not as much as the Eagles, Lions, or Vikings. Like, that's kind of where I come up with that.
I'll say 6 for the Packers just because I saw what they could do in the playoffs last season. And I had them winning the Super Bowl at the beginning of the year, so I kind of got to have some level of trust in them.
There you go. Commanders, I got 5. They're
4.
fun.
4.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe
going
give them a
to
try.
I'm going to say 4.
Same as the Bucks.
I got 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah, 4.
That feels better.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's the old trust meter there.
I feel bad that I gave my Vikings a 6.
Yeah, you probably should.
You should feel bad.
It's almost like you don't trust them, and all they've done is earn your trust this year, and you just don't trust them.
Well, here's the problem: we won't have the Pick'em challenge come playoff time, so now it's out of my hands.
Yeah, true.
So
you've helped them to 11-2 record, but then they're gonna have to do it on their own beyond that.
I think with this team though, like they weren't supposed to be here. They weren't. So I think their best years are yet to come. So I don't know if this is the year, but that doesn't mean that they won't be around in the coming years, even with J.J. McCarthy. And who knows, maybe they'll give Sam Darnold a contract or franchise tag him. I'm not too sure, but I'm just along for the ride, not getting too high or too low, except on Sunday and or Mondays.
Okay, good.
Or Saturday, if that's when the playoffs are.
You never know. We got you. We feel you.
Oh, man.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter. We'll wrap up the show, bet the board, criticisms and compliments, and 3 stars of the day next. miss anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast, available at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 ESPN mobile app. The podcast all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Time to bet the board. We all did well last night.
Good for you. Good for you guys.
Good for you guys.
Good job. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anthony, you, me, Jamie, tied at 5, Carey with 4.
Oh, this is a tight one this month. Jamie texted us. He has the Rangers tonight, the New York Rangers this evening. Marsh, what is your selection?
I'm going with Tage Thompson over 3.5 shots on goal.
All right. I'm going to go with the Warriors plus 2.5 tonight.
Yes.
Warriors plus 2.5. Opening the door for you to take the money line.
I want points.
Oh, it's not going to matter. They're going to win outright.
Give me the Warriors money line.
Da baby. If you win, I win. That feels good, right?
I should take the. I should. You know what?
Oh, dude, this is what happened last month. And it was on this exact thing. It was the Warriors. It split our friendship last year or last month. You're going to do it again?
Nah.
Okay.
Warriors.
There you go. Marshy.
All right, 3 stars of the day before we get out of here. 3rd star of the day goes out to Provel Cheese.
Yeah. On that great pizza.
Yes. 2nd star of the day goes out to the Medieval Times.
Yeah, I can get on board with that.
And the 1st star of the day goes out to our new office.
Yes. That
The new-
closet
the new-
right next to
new
the promo pit.
Yes.
Here at the Hubbard Broadcasting station.
There's an opportunity to get closer, fellas.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. We will have to. Because if I move my chair back just an inch, all of a sudden,
you're in Marshy's lap.
I'm in Marshy's lap. Or Jamie's lap, depends on which way I turn. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for listening, for watching. You guys are the best. We'll be back tomorrow for more insights and expertise. Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, and Anthony Stalter. See you.